You boy, you know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my nigga, yeah. I'm in you. Got my nigga Rewan with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general, your honor. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home, that's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it, ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit, yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid, number real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start steppin'. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, the shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted, we hear the truth and reject it. But love is getting corrected, and all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Maldito sea todos estos perros gringos, todos, y que las maldiciones de Dios lleguen hacia ellos.
Cuando me activo saco el cuerno de chivo. Todo lo que digo yo lo he vivido, haciendo oraciones entre mis suspiros. Muerte por un gringo es negativo y sigo. Estamos en guerra con estos gabachos, hijos de perra, y espera. Ellos son de Inglaterra, en barcos llegaron a nuestra tierra, se aferran que somos ilegales, que toda nuestra raza son criminales. Corrales es donde nos encierran, sin causa, motivo, nos encierran. Quisieran acabar con nuestra gente, pero aquí estamos hasta el presente, y muerte es lo que está presente. Unida nuestra gente, la raza está más fuerte. La escuela israelita, donde no corremos con edomitas. Todo de la Biblia ellos predican, y a toda nuestra gente se le avisa.
Ha llegado lo que esperan, guerra mundial tercera, que todos los gringos se caigan y mueran. lo condena, si ya sacarlo ordena. Con líricas mortales prosigue el asalto. No somos cobardes ni menos cristianos. Crúcense la línea y en corto los castro. Malditos caballos cazan nuestros pasos. Así es, raza, si no los conoce les presento a Satanás, porque todos los putos son de la Ku Klux Klan. Así es, mi gente, póngase trucha. No me ande ellos iconeando quiénes somos nosotros para andar hincando a toda la bola de pendejos.
Right at it. What you talking about?
Hear the hunger in my voice, they used to tell me to speak up. The problem wasn't what I was saying, they couldn't keep up. Instead of moving around with some patience, they tried to speed up. It got colder than a bitter bitch, found me a way to heat up. What's a favor for a favor if we all didn't make it? Kept it 100 with everybody, but they just gon' change. I ain't get caught up in the hype, cause I ain't feel like I made it. Couldn't picture me here now, but here's your moment to frame it. And I ain't never understand that self-entitlement spirit. I felt your vibe, I don't wanna get near it. Before I made the appearance, I took a second, took a look in the mirror. This God, Lord, the only thing that I fear. Y'all got me fucked up. It's all passion, it's tradition, it ain't fashion. It's no action, they make threats and it's still passing. I think massive, no respond, that's still tact. Y'all should quit rapping. Cheap shots, I'm cinematic. I ain't average, I'm an overthrow fanatic. How I go, you lose and win like asthmatic. I got first, that's automatic. I'm the best in my division. In the ghetto like the pigeons, in the hood like the engine. You a bird for that chicken. I don't fake split decisions cause my mind made up, nigga. We in the end of time, but my time ain't up, nigga. I was young and running wild and wide-eyed like a cabbage patch. I had to get it as vivid, adapted to my habitat. It's certain shit I won't do, certain shit you can't prove. My shit sound like a payday, yours like more when the rent. If I had $1 for every dime you counted, I would be broke. Watch it be close, got a better chance, boxing the goat. And they know I'm raw, and they know the spot, and I'm feeling lost, still in charge. I don't make a follow, I follow the law. Standing tall like they here on Mars. I just got a call from my bro, he behind the wall, he told me let it off. Niggas lying for some cat, I got a different line in me. Everybody intimidated, I got that God in me. You get focused on them dimes, I'd rather keep my nine with me. Help me get this off the ground, just know you won't fly with me now.
I try to make the news, I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' be the building. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home yeah. Truth, I ain't never had to choose.
I'm trying to get beamed up, man, y'all trying to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up, man, y'all trying to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up.
Tearing enemies apart. I don't give a fuck, done this shit from the start. In the boulevard where this fucking curse started. Life's a bitch, so you get cold-hearted. And it don't matter where the fuck you from. You play dumb and get stung by my fucking guns. 3 to the lungs, 1 in the head. Stand by your corpse and like fiction. We done gave up on religion. Every prayer feels like affliction, knowing God would never dare to listen. So we keep going, that's all we can do. Trying to flip some money cause the fucking rent is due. So I'm back in the streets once again with my crew. Put yourself in my shoes, tell me what you would do. So it's understood, I'm about to from the hood, trying to live life in the world misunderstood. So I wait for death, cause there's nothing left. Pray to God that I finally get some fucking rest. Put me to the test, I come up blasting. Life's a bitch, homeboy, but nothing drastic. Until the day you see me in my casket, I'll be rolling hard in my fucking nigga's asket.
Negros indios nativos somos los verdaderos israelitas. ¿Esto dónde lo dice? Esto dice en la Biblia.
Show that Puerto Ricans love America, but that ain't reality.
These attacks was planned beforehand. Only white cops were assigned.
Then our only recourse is to defend ourselves.
We tried to move people onto the sidewalk, but the police were all out for blood.
Another series of protests was staged by thousands of students, parents, and the Brown Berets. In June 1968, the group that had become known as the East LA 13 was released on bail.
Demonstrate to our people and we deserve better and that we could, get better.
I don't think there's ever been a time when we need more of the spirit of the young lords than today.
I guess we had no fear. We just did what we think, what we thought at the time was the right thing to do.
National captain of the Black Panther Party. They are making it their business to process arresting me and my wife, to a process of arresting numerous Panthers on the block.
Police just went in and started beating them viciously. It was ugly. They were just yelling at us, you dirty spicks, dirty Mexicans, who do you think you are?
Orderly was going down, y'all. What can I say? Good night to what's going on out there, man. But you back at it. This is the inconvenient truth. Back at it again. I'm right here, with Mighty Priest and Officer 1000, Officer Kamada. Lord, I will have Officer Lahab up here, out here shortly. And what can I say, Kamada? It's literally war in the streets right now out there, Salaki, I can't hear you.
Oh, Salaka did not. I had it on mute, but I was saying war is America's declaring war on Hispanics, and they have always declared war on God's chosen people. And we're talking about It's called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Yeah, you seen the videos, carnal?
Countless, carnal. Here, this some, this a live footage. Let's see, muted. I don't know if this is from last night or this is going down right now, but as we're talking about it, I want this playing just because, we want to, like, we the real primetime news, carnal. You know what I'm saying? We the real primetime news for the raza. We're gonna show y'all what's going on out there, and it's a lot that's going on out there right now, and of course, our people are out there demonstrating, marching, reacting is really what I want to say, reacting, to some horrible things that have been done, carnal. It's how do I say, it's difficult to gather the words together, but one thing I can say, right, is that I understand the anger and I understand why my raza's out there doing what they doing, here's so much, masa being talked, about us. Oh, they waving Mexican flags. Oh, they burning cars. Oh, they're doing this and that. But y'all don't understand. Y'all act like y'all don't know why they doing it. Y'all can understand the plight that of the Trump supporters in January 6th and what they did. What they were defecating inside the government offices and stuff. They were storming capitals. They be calling these violent protests, Commandant, and I don't see no violence going on. I see flag waving. You know what I mean? I don't see the protesters attacking the police. I don't see none of that going on.
If I could, I saw a video that my pops showed me that it was the oppressors, and the oppressors were attacking ICE, right? And that's just to show you that that's the spirit of the oppressor. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You've seen it, a handful of times where we are afraid to attack police officers because we know what's going to happen. They're going to break our jaws. They're going to break our backs. We might end up unalive. But these oppressors will attack,
right,
the ICE agents, and there's no repercussions for them, right? But they're the ones who, I would say, during the time of the BLM, right? We allowed, our brothers allowed, oppressors to walk with them and, what have you, to protest with them. But while in the meantime, there was people capturing them, committing the vandalism, committing, the criminal acts. And what, Hispanics need to do is they need to tell the oppressor to, go home. This is not for you. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that I saw is that it said, I was just scrolling through my Instagram feed, but they were saying that for the next 30 days, ICE is going to be out here in LA.
Right.
But, what seemed like I see that all these brothers and sisters have been rocked to sleep by the Christian, Catholic, and whatever religion that they're under. But, oppression maketh the wise man mad. And all these people, Lord allow, they start to become wise. They start to become wise and realize that we do have an enemy, man. Because I still go to the comments, and some of our people still are defending, the raids. They're like, oh, you know what? They're breaking the law and what have you. You know what I mean? But our people are going to start to wake up. But they're going to wake up under Commander Hana. They're not going to wake up under no other leadership, because Commander Hana is the only authority to wake our people up.
Right. And oh shit! So like, sir, I forgot to introduce you. Oh, we got
my connection is going in and out right now. Let me see if I can plug into the Wi-Fi.
So like, sir, I'm gonna introduce you. Of course, we got Mighty Priest and Officer 5000, Officer Lahab. Yeah, we can hear you out one.
Oh man, my connection is off right now.
No sweat, sir. Like, whenever you're ready, just
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, my connection was kind of off right now.
No sweat, no sweat.
Now I was watching earlier. I had a homeboy in the world. He was out there in Boyle Heights. He was out there in Boyle Heights, and he was out there in Mariachi Plaza. You know, so this, I guess they started off right there in Mariachi Plaza. You know how they have that little auditorium right there?
Mm-hmm.
So they're letting people go up there and speak. And I'm seeing the people that are speaking, and some of them were, you know, LGBTQ.
Of course.
You know? So, like, how you going, like, that's a rough one, like, because, you know, how they going to lead you into war? You know what I mean? This is a man who probably claims that it's two spirits. I know y'all know about that two spirits, right?
Right. God damn.
You know, it's a man dressed like a woman, and they're over there doing like the what do you call it? Like the Aztec whistles and all that.
Good night.
Doing the chanting. But it's like, you know, ain't no one gonna take that serious. That's a joke.
Right.
You get what I mean? But you know what? Like this was going on, like how do you expect people to react? You know, when you touching people's families, kids, and you know, they're over there going to graduation, you know, not graduation parties, but you know, people are graduating. You got nephews and nieces, sons and daughters graduating, and they're over there snatching people up at the graduation.
Right, sir.
You know, so it's like, and then you got, like, you know how coming out, you talking about some of our people are still siding with the oppressor, right? And then you got cats like this that are saying like, yeah, you know, they need to deport all the illegals. You know, they're still saying, oh, they're criminals and they came here legally, but at the same time they're snatching people up, like, you know, they're going to work.
Right.
Going to work. They're snatching people up from Home Depot. You know, those are Ish Christ Mexicans just right there standing at Home Depot trying to work.
Right, sir.
You know, so the people that they're snatching up are not criminals. They're not criminals. They're not rapists. They're not thieves. These are just regular cats that are building houses and building homes and working in restaurants. You know, but they're trying to make it seem like we're like the number one enemy in the world. You know. But go ahead. I'm gonna hold my peace.
Nah, no sweat. I don't want Salaki. I'm just gonna find some more live videos. Let me go to this one real quick.
Remember, right now they got the Marines out here already. The Marines
finally
about
came.
an hour ago.
So they said they deployed 700 Marines.
700, right?
They're here already. They already got them out here in downtown.
Massive unrest, you know. Of course, you see people doing all types of things out there. I'm gonna try and flip through this footage. You know, of course, I got the sound muted, or loud. That doesn't, you know, affect the video in any way. But you see the police and you see people out there. You know, it doesn't look like, I don't see no civil unrest going on. I see a Edomite playing the guitar, or I see some people walking around. I saw people in the street, you know, waving flags. That's about it. I guess that must be the real threat to America, sir. Go ahead, Adam.
Right. You know what? They were supposedly doing a peaceful protest, and they said that the National Guard were throwing tear gas at them.
Yeah,
you know, like they were provoking them. You know, and that's when they started throwing the rocks, and you know, they were throwing rocks. They were just throwing all kinds of shit at National Guard. But it started off with National Guard throwing tear gas first. But they're trying to make it seem like they went out there and just started rioting out of nowhere.
Right.
But the other side of it is that they started throwing tear gas.
Right.
You know, to provoke them.
If I could, sir, I was talking to a brother in the world, you know, that I know from the world, and he was out there in the Bay Area because they were doing the, you know, a protest out there, and he said, like, he told me that he saw with his own eyes the people that are doing all the looting and burning shit, that are smashing windows, doing all that, is not the Raza doing that. That's them Antifa cats doing that shit. You know, they're the ones coming and tagging everything up, you know, and destroying and vandalizing and burning things down, and then we get blamed for that. We get blamed for what they do.
which could be like just some undercover cop just starting.
Con.
I don't know if y'all remember. If I could, did any of y'all go to the protest in 2005, 2006 in MacArthur Park?
I was still in high school when that happened.
I was in middle school. When that happened. But it was a big protest. But I remember being there, and I remember Kazakia was saying, "Man, there's undercover cops over here, and they're trying to get people to riot because it was a peaceful protest. There's people out there with their flags, chanting. There had to be at least maybe 6,000, 7,000 people out there in MacArthur Park. But I remember him telling people, because there was one cat out there saying, let's go break into the stores or let's start breaking the cars.
I remember.
And then I remember Kazaki say, man, like, don't listen to that cat because that's an undercover cop. And that made people think like, oh, shit, like, it probably is a cop, and I wouldn't put it past it if they were doing the same thing right here.
Right, sir. If I could, I don't want I remember seeing the videos. Like this was during the time of the George Floyd the George Floyd riots, and there was an Edomite telling people to go smash his store down. Go. Like they were. I think it was found out that they were leaving bricks right there for them to start throwing. And our people, right? Like. Because we're in the midst, right, of reacting and you're angry and you're not, and you're angry, you're not thinking rational. You can go follow and do whatever, But come to time, no one goes in this, like what it looks like from what I've seen is all the protests so far have been peaceful. You got us out there, they just waving their flags. The worst they done is block a freeway, but the burning of the Waymo, what they call Waymo vehicles and all that, out of nowhere that happened. It's like it couldn't have been the people that were blocking the freeway doing that.
Can you hear me?
You can, sir.
You know what I mean? So it's like, Lord, allow everyone with their phones and stuff start exposing these people out there that are doing that. Show that it's not our people doing this out there, because the narrative being spun right now is that Mexican protesters are destroying their own cities, are doing things that are
coming at you online. Can you hear me?
To the cause. We can hear you, sir.
Is this loading?
No. Y'all can't see me?
I can hear you. Is Malakma's video is loading, right? It's
sir. It's playing. I think it's on your end, perhaps, sir.
Con, sir.
So Malakma's talking right now?
Yeah.
It's like. Let me hold my feet. It's like.
Let me see what's going on, sir. Salakia. Yeah. All right, mic check. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, Con. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Con, I can hear you. I'm trying to find, make sure anything that's not news,
There's this video, Malakma, that I was watching live yesterday while I was getting ready.
You can send it to me. You can send it to me.
Let me see if it's still on. It was on YouTube. It was live.
It's because you know how these devils be, man, with their copyright.
God. And it's on YouTube. CGTN.
YouTube CG. What's it called?
The channel is CGTN. But let me see if I could.
I'll find it right now.
I'm gonna text it to you.
All right, orderly. Just so I can stop sharing. I don't know, Laura Lau. We got the video saved up, so if they do block it, we just re-upload it and take out, any of this stuff right here. Anyone dropping, anyone joining right now, like y'all welcome to drop a comment. If y'all want to hop in, I'm about to put the link in. Y'all can come on and let us know what you think. I got, for people out there listening, right? I got a question. Why do y'all get so triggered when you see the Mexican flag? For you Trump pansies, as they call them, right? All you pro-America, all you people that talk about protesting the right way, Why do y'all get so triggered by the Mexican flag?
Right, like my couple, what was it like? Was it last month or 2 months ago in April? When what was it when they were waving the was it the Armenian flag?
Oh yeah, the Armenian genocide day. Yeah, y'all don't say nothing to the Armenians.
Everybody drives around honking their horns, waving an Armenian flag.
Right.
It's like you got devils waving the Confederate flag.
Oh yeah, God.
And that's about as anti-American as it gets, man. The fucking Salakia, the Confederacy, man. If you know the history of the Civil War. We'll show a little bit more and then we'll get into some top, This is a one time a die. We'll come back to this.
Yeah, in this video, it shows, I don't know at what marker, but it shows when they first lit up the Waymo cars.
Okay, Khan.
Hold on, Salaki, was that today? Hold on, that might be. No, yeah, that's the one, Salaki. That is the one. Oh.
Yeah, no sweat. So I see a fire being lit. I mean, once again, like my question is, who does these type of things, man? Like, because I'm pretty sure it's not us.
Like that's the one. That
what?
was, I think that was. Yeah.
This is like this live tonight, Kamada.
Yeah, you know what? I think that was yesterday night.
Okay, Khan.
See, I think it's this other one here that I have because I know they went live for like hella hours. I think it's this one. This one was 11-hour live. I believe it's this one. I'm gonna send it to you. Yeah, I just sent it to you right now.
You see the police mobilizing. I mean, I'm gonna start off with this, right? Never they even the articles call it unprecedented, but never in the history of this state and the city had the Marines ever been deployed on people. Never, like, I've never heard of the Marines being deployed to break up anything. And
I think they said it happened once in the 1950s.
Okay, in the 1950s. Okay, Khan. But to think, why are you deploying Marines? Why are you sending the National Guard? What's the big threat when, as you're seeing, people aren't really doing anything? Oh, you throw, like you had some people throw some rocks at some border patrol cars. So that warrants bringing in the military. And it's crazy just seeing all this going on, and to think that that's how he responds. But, being in the truth, right, in the UPK, like, we understand why this is happening. I was watching, the scripture breakdown class earlier in Blackwatch, and that's exactly what Donald Trump is doing, is he's flexing his military muscle. He wants people reacting like this so they can have the excuse to come in and come in with the National Guard and the Marines. And that's why the police are acting how they're acting and antagonizing the groups. And I'm pretty sure, like you said, sir, there's probably undercovers going into the side of the protesters and throwing things at the police or antagonizing protesters to do so. So.
And like if you want to show what when they're burning like the Waymo cars.
Yeah, you said it to me, right?
Yeah, Kankana, it's like around to like the 6 hour.
God, 6 hour, you said?
Yeah, Khan.
Who is this guy or this channel right here? Because I see the guy right there, the podcaster on the upper right hand side. He looks like
Yeah, he
some.
was the one that was commentating on the events.
Okay, Khan. He looked like
You
he
know,
like
and,
one of them
and then
alt-right
he goes
cats.
away. So like it?
He looked like he one of them alt-right cats.
Yeah, you know what? This one's called Agenda Free TV. The other one I sent you was a different. I think that was from last night or.
Okay. See, like what I'm seeing in these pictures, look, you see the people masked up, right? That don't look like Raza, carnal.
Yeah,
I see a lot. I see Edomites in there. I see all types of
know
people
what,
in there, man. Yeah, go ahead, carnal.
If I could, right? When I was watching this, right, and it's a photo that's gone viral where it's some nigga standing on top of the Waymo with a Judite, but he's masked up, right? But when I saw the video, he looked like an Edomite. But brothers is sharing the photo like if he's an Issacharite in a Judite together, like, you know, and it says like, you know, black and brown, stand together. But I don't know. When I was watching the video, like he looked like a straight devil. But I don't know, you know, Salaka, if he's not a devil, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't even know if he's Rasa. He's like a scary nigga.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know which picture you're talking about.
You know, but it's a photo that I seen when I was watching it live. Like I saw him by himself, you know, on top of that car, and then I saw the photo on Facebook. Like brothers were sharing it on like different platforms.
See, like majority of the people, like especially the Raza waving the flags, they're just standing around. They're not even, you know, like doing shit. You know, they're not harming nobody. They're not throwing stones at anybody. They're not doing nothing but walking around taking pictures. You know.
But you know,
so where the violent protesters at that they're talking about? Because you see some cars on fire. I wonder who lit the cars on fire. Yeah. I bet you it wasn't even Raza that lit those cars on fire.
If I could, just like the BLM, you had people recording, and you see a lot of people with their phones out. Like pretty soon, you're gonna see videos coming out. I recall across from my slavery, there's a Starbucks.
Right.
And then on that Starbucks, they had someone was tagging it up, and the person that was tagging up the Starbucks writing BLM was an oppressor, and that happened right across the street from my slavery, right? Like you're gonna start seeing videos being flooded, like showing who are the ones that are causing all the crimes.
If I could comment that, I remember that video. I was trying to look for it earlier because I wanted to play it, you know, and it was a sister that was calling them out, saying, you know, why are y'all coming over here and doing this? Y'all do this, and they blame us for it. They don't even blame y'all. We get blamed. So why are y'all doing this? And then I believe it was two Edomites, you know, dressed up like, I guess, for lack of a better term, they were dressed up like Antifa, all covered up, you know. And you know, that one thing I'd say, you know, is how disrespectful that is. And for you Raza out there, man, understand that and get outraged at that, because how you let these gringos come into your neighborhood, your ghettos and your barrios, come vandalize it, and then let them they're not gonna go back home and vandalize their neighborhoods. They're not gonna go and burn cars in their neighborhoods, but they'll do it in yours. And then you get the blame for it. You understand? So Raza, man, like, since y'all, you know, everyone's recording things nowadays, now's y'all chance, man. When you see these Antifa cats or anybody that you know is an outsider doing BS like that, get it on camera and upload it and expose it and let it be known that it is not you that is doing it.
And Malagma, but if I could, you know what used to be our communities are now their communities because of gentrification.
Right. But best believe, Commandant, they're not gonna go burn down, break the windows to their own apartments, to their luxury apartments where they live. They're not gonna burn their own cars, but they'll burn yours. They'll tag up your apartment, and that's what's wild, man.
I don't know how true it is, but I recall Officer Bakar, he was saying that Donald Trump is going to make a law that if you go out there and you protest, like, you can't have your face. Yeah, you can't have a face mask, or your face has to be exposed.
Hold on, I got you, Kana. Here it goes. Trump bans mask at protests after LA unrest. He also asserted that the National Guard in Los Angeles did a great job after 2 days of violence, clashes, and unrest. What violence, man?
You want to know something else? Is that they're saying that the ICE agents had to have a mask on.
Right.
But the protesters, they can't have a mask on.
Right, sir. Go ahead, Kana.
So like when you get a chance, if you could forward the video to 6 hours and 45 marker, like you're gonna see like the beginning how there's one Waymo vehicle is being tagged up, and you see that brother that I'm telling you, or I don't even know if he's a brother, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? To me, like, but when you get a chance.
All right. Like here, right here, Kamada.
It's like 6 hour and 45 minutes and like 40. Yeah, there you go. Like right there, you're gonna start seeing him working in the back, from the back, and then he ends up. I think he's breaking the doors. Like you're gonna see right now. Like he just starts yanking the door backwards or what have you, and he just like rips it off the hinges.
I see that.
No, that's not him up there. That's not him.
Okay.
You're gonna see him right now. The one that I'm telling you that he, the skater cat. I don't know if he's a brother. Yo, you see him walking up? You see him back there walking up?
I see.
He's on the other side of the circle. He just walked up from the backside, and he's on
this guy right here. Where is he? Where is he?
Let me see. I saw him walking up to the backside. It's gonna the camera's gonna zoom in, and then it's gonna capture him.
This guy right here? Nah.
You see him back there with a hat on.
This guy? Oh, I see him. I saw him.
Hold on. After this, he's gonna end up on the backside right now. Right there. You see him right there?
This guy right here?
Behind the car, like he's doing something to the door.
This guy right here without the shirt?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah. I know. Okay, now I remember the picture.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's a brother or that's a devil.
You're right. He looks like one of, judging by the pants, he might be one of them Antifa cats.
But in LA, like they wear big pants like that. Like I seen, but
Nah, no, Khan, but look, he's wearing one of those. Yeah, Khan. But if you see the way he's dressed with the pants, he has like the belt. Just it looks similar to what them Antifa people wear.
His mannerisms or something, they just off. Like they, I don't know, but again.
That I mean, that didn't look like. Was that a sister that got out the car?
Oh no, you know what I'm saying?
There's all kinds of people out there. There's white people out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of
A lot of
Edomites
white
out there,
folks out
sir.
there. But then again, there's a lot of white folks that don't like Donald Trump either, though.
Right.
You know, they're protesting with Mexicans.
I see him.
He ends up up there with a skateboard, and I think that's when like a brother goes up there and they take that picture that's circulating.
Con.
But when I saw
Like, I
him,
would
I don't know if he's
right. Go ahead, Kanan.
You know what I mean?
You know,
but again, I could be wrong.
Recognize what I was gonna say, is who in their right mind thinks, let's burn a Waymo vehicle. You know what I'm saying? What carnal thinks, you know what? Fuck it, let's burn these vehicles, man.
God.
I know this much. My thought was if it was, are people doing this, they're burning the vehicles as an outlet, They just got shot at by the police with rubber bullets and tear gas and shit. So if they're burning the stuff, these vehicles, it's because they're angry, They can't harm police officers, so they got to take out that anger and frustration out on something, So if that was them doing it, that possibly could be why, Now, for the record, for you, like I said, what was that joke coming out of there? I was like, oh, the feds watching. For the feds listening, I'm not condoning this, and I'm not encouraging it, but I understand why people do it. If it's really my people doing it, you have done horrible things to our people, man. You have done horrible atrocities, and our people can't even fight back. You know what I mean? That's how peaceful we are. You know what I'm saying? That we'll take out our anger and frustration on a inanimate object than go harm one of y'all. A Waymo car is not a human life. It might be expensive, it might be property, it's wrong to damage property, but it is not a human life being taken. Right? You're not gonna see Raza going and doing the crazy things that you other nations do when a nation oppresses them. Do we need to go look at what goes on with the Palestinians and the Israelis? I mean, Palestinians literally go blow themselves up. You know what I mean? That's us going and burning a car. The Israelis are launching missiles at people. But y'all want to talk about violent and, this is a threat to America. This is a city being destroyed. All I'm seeing is some cars being burnt down, some graffiti here and there. But LA is not the Gaza Strip. You know what I'm saying, Kamada? As these devils try to make it seem.
Hey, Mlama.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, can you show the video of the little kids going to court?
Con, sir.
We can show that. We can show the. I see one little girl and a little boy going to court. They're like 5 years old, 4 years old.
Con.
And so, like I said, I think that happened during Barack Obama's presidency, where they had to represent themselves. They had them with the headphones.
So you don't think that still go on today though? Like that's still happening.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
but that's just like the only footage that we have of of what it's like for them kids to represent themselves at court.
God.
So that's this footage right here, real quick. It will show
and
this.
That's why people get pissed off because of things like that.
Look at this. See if I can put some sound on it.
Hey, put pressure on me. Stop bleeding. More pressure. One more. Pressure.
See, look at that.
Water. Hey, put pressure on me. Stop bleeding. More pressure. One more.
So the canal right here took a flashbang grenade to the face, man. You know, there was another footage that I want to show, sir. I'll get to that little if I could find that one with the little boy. But I want to show the one of the. Did you see the one of the police officer shoving that brother into, like, I forgot what he was doing to him. See if I can find that footage.
I'll tell you this, man, you know what? If you go to protest, like, you gotta expect something like that to happen to you.
Sure.
Like, you know, you can't go out there thinking that you just gonna go have a peaceful protest. Like, you gotta understand, them cops are gonna hurt you, and they gonna throw the tear gas. They gonna pull you. Hey, show his video too. The bald headed cat.
Oh, this video,
when you
the
can.
bald headed idiot right here.
That's another thing we gotta touch on too.
Sir, I'll show this video right now too. This is a big part of the problem, sir.
Right.
Come on.
Just so I could clarify it. You don't want to go back to Mexico. You're protesting to stay away from Mexico. But you're waving the Mexican flag and you're waving it. Why? You're waving it in the United States. The country you're trying to stay in. The country you don't want to leave. But yet you're waving the Mexican flag with pride. Okay. That seems normal to you? That seems logical? That's not stupid at all? None of that's stupid. All right. You guys are an embarrassment to the Mexican culture and to the United States culture. You guys are an embarrassment to everybody around you, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Do better. Great. Just so I could clarify it.
So, like, sir, did you want to touch on this right now?
I mean, his hand gestures are kind of LGBTQ too.
Right.
I was gonna say this nigga don't get a 13-second check. You know what I'm saying? He not from the hood, man.
Oh, so like, I was gonna say, you saw that picture that I posted of the ISUPK with the Donald Trump hat and with the nopal with the
sir.
So that's this cat right here. That picture is about brothers like this right here.
Right.
You know, and if real quick, if y'all can break down what a nopal is, so that cactus that's on the Mexican's forehead, if y'all can real quick break down what it means to be a nopal, or why would he use the word nopale?
Hold on, let me get the
like that's just saying that you have indigenous features. No matter if you're grown in America, you still can escape your heritage. Like that's basically what that means. Like he's like, man, tienes el nopal en la frente. Like it's like what? Like don't think just because you're born in the U.S., you know that you can escape your heritage.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, like I was saying, like it's like you're the stereotypical Mexican, right? Like you look like the stereotypical Mexican practically, and then you over here trying to sound like a gringo and share their thoughts. What I wanted to say, right, in regards to that dumbass Salaki, to that Simple Simon, right, is that he represents a big problem with our community. He's part of the reason why Donald Trump does what he does and why he can target our people, because of sellouts like him that go and side with the enemy. And here's another thing, right? And Salakia, man, that dumb argument about the Mexican flag, it really, like, I know it annoys me, man, because it's like y'all taking away from the real issue at hand. Like y'all want to make it about the Mexican flag when this is not about waving a goddamn flag. This is about the fact that families are being separated. You know,
right.
Kids are losing their parents. You know, children are getting. Well, a 5-year-old got to represent himself in immigration court. That's what this is about. It's got nothing to do with the right to wave a flag or begging to be American. I think more than anything, these people have more than earned their right to be here. If you want to play that game, you know, Arrasa comes over here and works hard. Go ahead, sir.
Have you ever heard anybody say if you don't like it, if like anybody has waving a Palestinian flag. Have you ever heard anybody say, if you don't like it here, then go back to Palestine?
I have not heard that. I have not heard that
I
at
have
all,
never
man.
heard that. I have never
Yeah.
heard anybody say, what's going on out there in your country. You protesting out here about something that's happening in your country, then you should go back to Palestine. Or what about the Israelis?
Right.
What about when they protest and they have the Israeli flag on the street?
Right.
Nobody says anything about the Israelis waving their flags, the Palestinians waving their flags, the Armenians
Right.
waving their flags, But when it comes to us, it's, why are you waving the Mexican flag? This is America. You should go back to your country. And most of the time, it's always a Mexican saying something like that.
Yeah.
So it
Right,
says
sir.
cat right here on the picture. A cat that looks like a straight Mexican, dark skin, looks like he only speaks Spanish, telling another Mexican, don't wave the Mexican flag here. This is America. You should go back to your country. Don't even tell you go back to your country.
Like,
Goddamn.
man.
But it's like, go ahead, Malak. It's like,
Oh, I got the sound bites, just so y'all know. Nah, sir, like, that's heavy you say that, because that's exactly like, how in the hell, like, so you're telling me I can't be mad because you're kidnapping my parents? You know what I'm saying? That's what it sounds like. It's like, don't you dare get mad at America because America feeds us. What is it? Don't you dare get mad at massa. We's is good slaves. That's really what it is. That's the mentality behind it. But y'all are a real plague. You simple Simons that go on the internet, and you see people are angry about their families being split, and you go around and turn and make this about the flag. You know what I mean? And let me say this, man. Mexicans got more of a right to wave that flag. You know what I'm saying? You need a history lesson on what land this was. This idiot goes and says, oh, you want to go back, you want to wave the Mexican flag in the country that you want to live in. You know why our people got to come here, dumb? They got to come here because America went and destabilized the home country. America went and took away business opportunities, man. Go look it up. America went and implanted the cartels, all that. And you morons want to come and cap for America. What is it? Come save America. Want to make it seem like we're the problem because we're waving on our flag. We're waving Mexican flags because we're letting it be known who we are. That's the real reason. Ain't got nothing to do with being ungrateful. Nobody loves America more than Mexicans. Go fight your wars. We go feed you. We clean your nation. We clean your house. Mow your lawns. We upkeep America. And the thank you is to take away our parents because they didn't have time to wait for your flawed immigration process that you put on them. So like it's angering when I see this argument, man, and when people go and say this. So
usually cats like that, the one that made that video, is because he probably got some like white coworkers, white friends, or something like that.
Because he's a coward, sir.
Yeah, you're a coward. You're a coward, definitely. But imagine, like, if you got white friends and then, like, they'll look like when white people see Mexicans acting like that, they look at him like, look at your people,
Yeah.
Look at what your people are doing. Like, are you like that too? And
no, I was a good slave.
Yeah, not exactly. And he probably like, no, I'm not like that. I talk right, I speak right.
Right.
I'm educated. I went to school. I got a diploma. I'm not like them.
I'm the good one.
I'm the good one. That's who that cat is right there.
Sir.
And you know what, sir? That nigga better pray he don't end up in prison or jail because
he's already in there.
Huh? He looks like he's already in there.
Yeah.
So I don't even think so, carnal. Because I tell you what, his white friends are not gonna save him. You know what I mean? Like in there, the Sureños, they're all about fucking Mexican culture, fucking Aztec. Salaga.
If I could, I got a video to say after.
You know what I mean? Like, and for him to come against his own people, you know, Lord be with him if he ever ends up in prison.
Right. So like, I'll be right back on this. Yeah, y'all brothers take it over for a second.
Okay.
So like, I didn't catch what he said.
No, Malama, he stepped out real quick.
Oh yeah, kind sir. You know what I mean? So like he's gonna be somebody's hyena in prison. Just for, like what you said, just for trying to be liked by you know his coworkers who don't give a damn about him.
Hey, coming out, you I don't know if you remember this. You remember there used to be some Israelite lady. She was a big lady, big fat lady, and she was always against immigrants. She was always against Hispanics, you know, coming here legally. She'd be at the protest with all the white people. She was like the first one out there, you know, siding with like, you know, the white folks. So I'm talking about this like 2007, 2006, when she would be on YouTube and she'll be siding with you know, with the Edomites. You know who I'm talking about?
Sir.
Okay, Salaki. So pretty much it's
you said
right here.
What year?
This is like 2005, 2006, 2007. You know, but she was a Hispanic lady. You know, she'd be with all the American flags, American flag hat. You know. Okay, you probably don't know.
Sir. 2006, 2007.
Yeah. But anyways, like, you know, like people like this have always existed. You know, there's always been traitors in, you know, within Mexicans. You know, that's why they use the word malinche. You ever heard that word before?
Yeah, sir.
With that
I'm
girl.
gonna look this
traitor,
I
right?
think her name.
Go ahead, Slack. It kind of went out.
Go ahead, sir. So like, I'm gonna look this one. No, I'm while you saying that, I'm gonna look this up. I want to see if that's her.
Okay, so Malinche, I believe that's how you say her name. She was a traitor, right? She was the one that was showing the Europeans and translating for the Europeans, you know, to the Aztecs. But she was considered a traitor. So if you get called today Malinche, it's offensive. It's like calling you like, yeah, damn, you're a traitor. But you know, traitors have always existed within our, you know, within Mexicans, and you're starting to see a lot more of them today. You know, with this whole Donald Trump thing going on. You know, you're starting to see who are the enemies within our race. You know, that bald-headed cat that we just showed you, he's one of them. You know, and he looked like he grew up in like some hood or something like that.
Yeah, he looked like it.
You know, but there's a lot of cats that think like that.
Right, sir. And that's the problem. There's another video I want to play real quick, and I want to know your analysis is you know, taking it. This is something a brother said. Did I share? I think I shared it to this chat. Hold on. Because it's, you know, since we're on that topic, you know, came across this reel. Let's see if I can find it. There's this guy, 44 Vato. He did some BS too today, man. I know y'all saw what he did.
I didn't see it.
It just, you know, I always notice that when we have situations like this happen, you get clowns that really try to push the black and brown issue, you know? For some odd
So,
reason.
Is she an older lady or
She's an older lady.
Did she work for the U.S.?
Maybe she did. I'm not quite sure, but she probably did.
Okay,
It's just
go ahead,
Malama.
Malama.
Go ahead, sir.
Do you remember some Hispanic lady that was like a trader? This is like 2006, 2007. She was a fat lady, and
I
she was
think I know
always
you're talking about.
and she was always at like anti-immigration protests.
Yeah.
With all the white people.
Yeah.
Do you know her name?
I don't know her name, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, I was trying to show that video, but if you have it, if you don't, it's to what?
Oh, sweat. Yeah, no, I don't have it. Slovakia.
But during that time, like she was like the only one. Like, it wasn't like today where you see all kinds of like, Mexican Donald Trump supporters. Like, at least right there during that time, 2006, 2007, like she was the only one. There's like 100 white people, and she's the only Mexican lady right there supporting them.
This might be the video right here.
In times like this.
So like, let's see what your brothers think because we just showed that one cat.
This. When criminal organizations such as the Mexican Mafia, Nuestras Familias view these ideology of nationalism and race, and they have thousands of foot soldiers out there, who are ready and willing to take actions on behalf of those organizations. These people see their people, so-called people, being attacked. That's why it's all puro pinche pedo, güey. And for all those Americans to be like, oh, you can't respond in violence. That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. When 9/11 happened, how did the United States respond? Our government responded. They responded with violence. When Pearl Harbor happened, what happened with that? Fucking responding with violence. So it's like, what the fuck? Am I the only motherfucker that paid attention or some shit? In times like this, when criminal...
So like, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. What?
It looks like my camera froze. Hold on. Damn.
We can hear you though, Malagma.
Say again?
We can hear you though.
You can hear me? Okay, Most High Christ. But you hear what the canal said?
I'm hearing some of it. It's kind of, on my end, it's kind of going in and out. But I heard some of it. He was talking about how America responded with violence with Pearl Harbor and 9/11.
So we was saying is that during times like this, right, you have organizations like criminal organizations like La M, and all the gangs and stuff that have, like you said, thousands of foot soldiers, and they see their people getting attacked, with everything going on, and basically he's saying like they're not doing anything. He said it's puro pedo or puro pinche pedo. Like they're not about what they claim they are, like about loving their people, because they're not doing anything to defend their people. And then he said the claim that
He's right though. He ain't lying. That's a fact.
And then the claim that he said that, you know, how people, especially Edomites, are saying like, "Oh, y'all protesting the wrong way. You should be nonviolent." He said that's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't benefit them. That's why. Those cats out there trying to make money for themselves and sell drugs. Like this right here, it's not their territory to do this. You know, they don't protect their people. They protect their own in prison, but on the street with things like this, it's not. That's not something they do.
Right.
So like I said, they don't even do that for their own people because they'll turn on their own people. You know what I mean? If they owe a debt, if you know what I mean, like what have you, like they're quick to turn on their own people. So like you know, they wouldn't even do it for their own foot soldiers. Why would they do it for you know what I mean for their own people?
Right, got not. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, there it goes. On my camera's back. I don't know what's going on with my laptop. That shit just started tripping. But yeah, you know, he said that Supreme's user Supreme 666 said this. He said most of these rioters are undercover police infiltrators passed as Hispanics to get Hispanics arrested. Most of them are not even our people. Also, some are Palestinians.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past it. I wouldn't, you know. Wouldn't put it past it. And once again, where all the Palestinians that are fighting for us? You know, you got a lot of Mexicans that out there that will fight for Palestine, free Palestine. You know, going out there protesting for them. Where are all the Palestinians at right now?
Right. You had a bunch of well, you had a brother that unalived 2 Israelis, free Palestinians. You know, so
right.
What they talk about? You know, that should let y'all know something. You know, but you know, let me go back to this article real quick. I wanted to finish reading this because he said they go to riot for the police. Okay,
that's true.
He also asserted that the National Guard in Los Angeles did a great job after 2 days of violence. Where's the rest of the article? Okay. So that was it. He said just President Trump on Sunday said that masks will no longer be allowed to be worn at protests. And you know that's why we call the oppressor the devil, because right, like you said earlier, the ICE agents weren't required to not wear a face mask, you know. They got to mask up and hide their identity, and I believe what the excuse was that because their families were being threatened, something like that.
Right. And it shows you the hypocrisy too. You know what I mean? Like okay, like right now they're calling us rioters. They're saying we're rioting, we're violent, you know, criminals. And then when it came to the January 6th Capitol, when they raided the Capitol building, you know, he didn't call them like criminals,
right?
You know, he didn't say nothing about them covering their faces. You know, man, there's a video. Man, I'm gonna try to find this video where he's saying that, like, pretty much like he's protecting them.
Right.
You know, he's protecting them, and he's like damn near watering down what they did.
Sir.
I don't know if you've seen it or not, Malakma, but if you can find it, that's a good video to pull right now.
Oh, look, Supreme 666 said Trump said they were good people.
They were such good people that he pardoned their sentence, right, Malakma?
Right. Let me show you another form of hypocrisy. We brought this out yesterday in the podcast with Barack Yala, right? Let me show you, since waving foreign flags is such a problem, right? Look at this. Look at that right there. I see a flag of a what is it? A foreign flag of an enemy of the United States that a war was fought over. You know,
Right.
how come nobody had an issue there? How come nobody told them they were protesting the wrong way?
Right.
You know, how come nobody told them that violence is not the way? They literally went and with unalived a police officer. They went and just vandalized the Capitol, the U.S. Capitol, which is supposed to be, the an American symbol.
And I think they went in there with rifles too. Right?
They went in there with rifles,
guns, and he didn't call National Guard when they did that.
Right.
He didn't call National Guard. He didn't call the Marines. You know, he went and called them good people.
Khan. He didn't, what do you say? He didn't call them a threat to America. Right? But no one said the country is being destroyed because of this, but all of a sudden now LA is being destroyed because of what's going on right now.
I want to say that even some of those cats that raided the Capitol building, some of them were pedophiles. Like they're registered child molesters.
Imagine that, sir.
So those were criminals, and those were the rapists. You know, those are the criminals, the rapists, the thieves. Like everything he said about Mexicans were those were the January 9th, those white people that rioted.
God. That right there, though, the foreign flag being with the Confederate flag being waved is just the hypocrisy of this oppressor. Because it's really, like I said, sir, the whole issue about the flag being waved is really just to take away to cover the true issue. They know they don't want to admit that America's wrong for what it's doing to the raza.
They can't stand to see a proud Mexican. That's what it is.
They want to break that too.
Full of pride and proud, that boils up white people. That pisses them off to see them proud and not bow their head. Like they can't stand to see you feel strong. To them they feel threatened when you do things like that.
Right. Sir. And that's more likely what it is, And of course, they hate you. They have a perpetual hatred for Mexicans because they know that the Mexicans are God's chosen people. This brother says something. He said, "Why don't they turn the other cheek like white Jesus said, since they're so Christian?" Real talk, Supreme 666. Why? Like they don't. This shows that they don't believe in what they taught. And the whole thing of this oppressor is to do as I say and not do as I do. They more about thinking they can do whatever they want, and you're the second class citizen here. Let me see. Let's find some more footage to go through. There's so many videos I done came across, man.
I seen some Hispanic lady right there on the 101 freeway making hot dogs because the freeway got shut down. Because they done destroyed so many cop cars, so the freeway shut down, and you got some Hispanic lady that went there, bought her hot dog stand, and over there, hustling. That.
And this is why people see when they make it about the Mexican flag, sir. This is what it's about. This is why people are out there protesting. It ain't nothing to do with the right to wave a flag.
Look at these niggas. Oh, hey, let him go. Hey, let him go.
This was in Hunting the Park earlier today.
No me enseñes nada.
Look at these bastards, man. There was another one. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, look at this one.
Yeah.
That's part of their job, though. I mean, you can't do nothing, yeah. Only record. They're everywhere.
That right there, that's some bullshit what they're doing, because like that brother's probably just there trying to find some work. You know, like if you don't know, a lot of Israelites, they'll go to a Home Depot trying to work.
Right, sir.
Or look for work. They're trying to look for work, so they'll post up there, chilling, hanging out until someone drives by, picks them up, so they can go work on the house. And probably that's what that brother was doing. And ICE went and picked him up.
And so, like I said, not even that. Like some of these brothers are homeowners. Like they love their gardens. He probably just went out there to go, to go see some plants or something to make his garden, more beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And he got, apprehended. You know what I'm saying? And just to spread awareness, like brothers and sisters don't even have to answer no questions, because they're gonna tell you, well, you know what, I'm trying to help you out. And what they're really trying to do is that they're trying to get information out of you. They're gonna ask you if you got your papers and all that. You know what I mean? If they say, once you say you don't, you know what I mean, like that's the motive for them to take you in.
Right.
And you know what I mean? But if we gotta spread awareness. Like, don't answer no questions, and just say that you're not gonna say anything until you have a lawyer present, and just stand on that.
If I could though, but this is it's biblical what's going on, and this was predicted in the Bible. This is one of the prophecies. Let me show the scripture. Lamentations 4:18. Lamentations 4:18. They hunt our steps. As you can see, in the footage I'm showing, the ICE is literally hunting the steps of the Raza. That we cannot go in our streets. Raza cannot go in the streets, man. Immediately as they go to leave the house to go to work, to take their kids to school, to go to their kids' graduation, they get hunted down by ICE. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled. For our end is coming. Their end is come, because it's like your life here in America is over. You know what I mean? The life of your family that you had everything together is now come and been flipped upside down, man. Because of this devil of a president. Because of this race of oppressors. Go ahead, sir. You were gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say it real quick. And you know what? A lot of times too, I've heard this a lot too with Latinos. A lot of Hispanics are saying, you know what? I don't care if I get deported. I'll just end up right back in Mexico or right back in Central America. Like, you really think they're gonna have a ticket for you the next day to send you back to Mexico or Central America or Venezuela? You're not going back the next day.
You're going
They're
to
gonna hold you inside that detention center.
Right.
And then once you go inside the detention center, you're not communicating with nobody. You're not gonna be able to call your mom. You're not getting that phone call to call anybody. You're gonna be stuck in a room. From what I heard, like out here in LA, they're putting you in the basement with like 30 people inside a room, and then giving you aluminum foil for a cover. And
Imagine.
that's what they're saying. But you know, who knows what else they're doing in there? Because of course, out here, you know, we done heard about like in prison how the guards rape, you know, how they rape men, you know, how they violate men. And out here in the juvenile halls out here in Los Angeles, the juvenile halls just got sued. They're
Right.
suing a lot of these juvenile halls because the security guards were molesting the kids. So like imagine what they're doing inside the inside these detention centers. Like what goes on in there, you know? Like you
Right.
know, America already has a reputation of doing things like this. So I wouldn't put it past them if they were violating men, women, and children inside those ICE detention centers.
So like I said, if I could, there's one thing I forgot to say when Malagma played that video of that one brother who's coming against our own people. Another awareness too that we got to look out for our own people that are just like him, right? Because another thing is that our people are being targeted, right? I done seen a video where you know, our own people. He was drunk. He hit someone else's car, and you know he was undocumented. And then the brother, you know, he's telling them like, man, you know, I'm gonna need your information. Like, I'm gonna have to report you. And then he's like, man, you report me, I'm gonna report you to ICE. And that's another thing too that our people got to be careful with our own, because you know we hate ourselves, man.
Right.
And our own people are the ones that are gonna start to bring harm to our own communities, man. Like they're gonna start doing things, and they're gonna start saying like what you say something, I'm gonna report you to ICE. You know what I mean? And you know they want to act like bastards. You know, will you know the Lord bring. So like you know, I don't want to wish that upon our brothers, man. But you know, Lord allow that they turn away from those ways, man, being evil, because they're learning that from the oppressors. The oppressors are the first ones who started doing that, started to you know do things to our people and tell them like, what you're gonna go to the police and turn me in? Well, guess what? I'm gonna report you to ICE. And now our people, because they're afraid, they're not gonna say nothing. You know what I mean? They're gonna be abused, and you know what I'm saying? Like what? Because they want to be in America, like they just gonna take it? Like no, you know that's not even Tawad. You know what I mean? They gotta be. We gotta spread awareness about our own people. You know, being Theo Tomases
Right.
that you know that hate us. They're gonna start acting like the oppressor.
Kanad. If I could, hey Yashikar, if you still watching, Kanad, the link's right there. You want to join us, Kanad, real quick, you know? But yeah, this is just, you know, there's so much going on right now, you know, in the streets of LA, in the streets of, you know, worldwide, actually, well, not world, nationwide, because before this happened, right, the communities were coming against ICE in San Diego, in the Midwest. You know, I don't know if y'all saw that one video where it was in the Midwest and the devil said, "How did we find out about the raid? We found out on Reddit." You know, so this has been happening, you know. But now that
And
it's
it's like,
happened here in LA, now it's a problem. Go ahead, Kana.
I wanted to share. There's an app out there, right? And like how you say, like you know, how did they know about the raid? Like there's an app that that brothers and sisters can download where if they see you know raids happening in their communities,
Right.
that it's kind of like you know in ways how you can pinpoint like you know there's a you know officer here, like you could pinpoint and brothers could see in real time where there's raids. And if I could get that video right now to you know, if they want to download that app where they can report raids. So you know, just to bring awareness to communities.
Kana.
Let me look for that.
No sweat. this real quick. So, of course, if y'all tuning in, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Bubba Kasha. We're streaming on a few platforms, but most importantly than all, if y'all could, por favor, Bubba Kasha, subscribe to the Inconvenient Truth. We try to build that channel up. Lord allow, we gotta go on so many, platforms in the future. And of course, if y'all got questions or comments, please feel free to type them. We want to engage with the people. Want to know what was going on through y'all minds. I really would like for somebody to come on here and explain why it's wrong to wave the Mexican flag. I want to hear this from you haters out there, you pro-Trumpers, you pro-Americans, you Mexican Americans, whatever y'all want to call yourselves. I got the thing coming out.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I sent you the video so you could, share. Like, if you can just play it, and it'll show the app and all that, like how to work it. You know what I mean? It's like I said. Were you gonna say something, Absalah?
Yeah, I was gonna say this. Like, here's another thing too. A lot of brothers out there protesting right now. They're, I'm not trying to knock what they're doing, but like, it's gonna look really dumb if we're out here protesting and then come 4th of July, we're lighting up that grill and barbecue.
Right.
For the 4th of July.
You
know what I mean? I seen a post earlier where they're talking about where people were talking about, don't go to any events on the 4th of July. Just stay home and barbecue at the house. You know what I mean? So although they're not gonna go to like the fireworks show, they ain't gonna go to the Rose Bowl, but they're still gonna hold the carne asada right there at the crib.
Right.
Like, come on, like, if we gonna do this, we gotta go all the way.
Sir. And I was gonna say, can our people really resist the fireworks show?
Right.
But not allowed that they don't go to the Dodgers Stadium, because the Dodgers love to put up a fireworks show. You know what I mean? And they'll probably call ICE on our people on that day, man.
Yeah, and then too, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have the 4th of July party at your house, and you're still gonna get drunk, because that's what they do. Get drunk as hell on the 4th of July. Either drunk as hell or high as hell. Like, come on, like, if we gonna do it, we gotta do it all the way, and the right way.
So like I said, we're gonna do it. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna have to do it like when Coca-Cola set up that meeting just to set up our people up. And what do? We stop supporting Coca-Cola. Well, that's what we're gonna have to do for 4th of July, man. We're gonna have to stop supporting 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to separate ourselves from 4th of July. You know what I mean? Because keeping 4th of July is being a hypocrite. And Hispanics, we hate to be called hipócritas. You know what I'm saying? So don't be called a hypocrite on 4th of July, man. We gonna know if you're just doing this, because everybody wants to be liked and then wants to get likes on social media. You know what I mean? Don't do it. Like, be real about this. If you're gonna be supporting our people and being against the Donald Trump, sending ICE against our people, then you're gonna be for real, and you're gonna stop supporting 4th of July, buying fireworks, man, because all you're doing is supporting the raids. You know what I mean? Don't stop being ignorant.
Right.
And here's the thing too, another thing too is that they won't take it that far, because if you don't celebrate the 4th of July, that's gonna cause problems in the family household.
Right.
Because your family want to celebrate the 4th of July. Your girl and the kids and everybody want to get together on the 4th of July to celebrate. But if you're really going to be down for your people and fight for your people and be anti-ICE and America and, and everything that's going on with us, then you got to not celebrate the 4th of July, even if it hurts. And that's the thing that a lot of our people are not willing to hurt. Like, when it comes, like, this 4th of July is a demon in our people, because, like, we want to celebrate it. We'll do the protest. we'll go out there, go on social media and act like we fighting. But when it comes to the 4th of July, we're going to fail at that. We're
Right.
going to light up that grill. We're going to have a carne asada. We're going to drink. And, it just makes us look like a joke.
Right.
And ain't no one going to respect us. Like, our enemy, our oppressor won't respect us because we're celebrating the 4th of July. They look at us like, okay, y'all going to protest. We know you're going to protest. I know you're going to go out there and do your thing. But on the 4th of July, I know you guys are going to fold. I know you're going to go to that store. You're going to buy $200 of meat. You're going to buy 24 packs of beer, a bottle. You're going to get drunk, and you're going to forget about everything that we did to y'all. And then y'all be at it again. And then y'all protest again. And then come Thanksgiving and Christmas, it'll be the same thing.
Right.
Y'all just fold and go to sleep and party and drink and forget about the oppression that, we're doing to you.
If I could, sir, and that's probably one of the reasons why this devil will say, "Oh, why do y'all want to stay here so bad if y'all hate it?"
Right.
And that's the thing, man. Like it kills me when I hear these arguments, man, and these claims. And once again, it's the purpose of it is to diminish our pain and our suffering and make it and deflect from it. Orale, I think we got. Hell yeah, we got the canal right here. Hey, we got Officer Yashkar Ban Yashkar right here, sir.
Hey, Shalom Yishwita.
Hey,
Shalom,
Yabashesha Prakatam, carnales.
Orale, carnal. What's going down?
And carnales, this is a heavy class, carnal, right now. And what y'all are bringing out is very hardcore, carnal. I'm from Texas, Rio Grande Valley, Texas, right down by the border. So all we see is raza, carnal. So you have half of the raza against ICE, and then half of the other raza for ICE. So it's like the brothers were saying right now about Tio Tomases and all that. How much hatred we have for each other is very heavy. Of course we don't wish anything, like Officer Kamada said, anything bad to happen, anything evil against our people. But Lord willing, they can snap out of it and stop following the ways of our oppressors. Because they can't see that this is how the oppressors act against us, and they love the oppressors so much, they think that they are the oppressors. They think that they're one of them.
Right. That's crazy you say that, carnal, because
right now.
They think that, and then once their people are getting deported, then they regret it. Then when it starts happening to them and they start facing the racism and the hatred from this oppressor, now all of a sudden, I was wrong,
Right, carnal. It's like the general has said in one of the classes, Muhammad. He says that they don't know how to, they love these people so much until one of these oppressors unalives one of their family members, unalives one of their children, their mother, their father, a brother, a sister. Then they're gonna know who is really on their side. They're gonna know that who they really are, carnal. Once they feel that pain, they can't feel it, carnal, like us. We're brothers in the truth, so we feel the pain for our people. They can't feel it yet, carnal. That's why all of this is happening, and it's gonna keep happening until we learn that we have to unite.
Right.
Until we learn this is the home of the truth right here. This is where they all belong. Right now they're running around, going at war with the oppressors, but that's not the way. Our oppressors are the masters of war. Like none of this affects them at all, carnal. This is what they do. The land was given into the hands of the wicked. The sword of war was given unto our oppressors to oppress us, to destroy us, and going of violence and violence. We're not gonna win. We're not gonna win. It's not gonna go anywhere. No matter how many riots, how many people, a lot of people are gonna have to be unalive till we realize that, it's not gonna work. The only way to fight our oppressors is going back to the Bible, going back to our old ways, law, statutes, and commandments, doing everything under the ISUPK, under Christ, the way it's supposed to be. And the first step is to unite. You know,
Right,
but
carnal.
that's heavy that you're saying, carnal. Most High in Christ.
No, Most High in Christ, carnal. Nah, what you saying is heavy también, you know. I'm gonna play this video real quick for Kamada, because you know it's right here, Kamada.
Oye, carnal,
Que no te vaya a agarrar la migra. Aquí te voy a dar un tip para que puedas evitar.
Pause it, you said?
Yeah, kind of. I just wanted to show because you know we're giving just so the watchers that are watching, I don't know if they tuned out or they're just tuning in, but this is just to let our raza know that if you are serious about bringing awareness to our raza, right, you could download this app right here, and you could pinpoint if you see any raids, happening in the communities, and you can report it with brothers and sisters, right? And it should be word of mouth. Like, let them know, like, hey, download this app right here. You know what I'm saying? So you can avoid these raid points. What do you call them? Where they set up checkpoint. There you go. Not a checkpoint because it's not literally it's not a checkpoint, right? But wherever they go to apprehend our people, right? Like brothers and sisters can bring awareness to the community. But
so if I could, we got Officer 5000 Matabar right here with us. Hey, Shalom, sir. What's
what's going on with y'all?
Just we just right here, sir, reporting, what's going on out here in LA and throughout, nationwide with these ICE raids, on the Raza and, the Raza's reaction to what's going on, and how this oppressor will, is trying to diminish the real issue at hand and make it about, flag waving and, being here as a criminal and all that type of, lies, to make it seem like it to justify, what they do in splitting our families up and mistreating our people.
Shit, we know the number one oppressor is the goddamn oppressor.
Right.
Number one criminal is the oppressor.
Right.
So-called white man, he is the goddamn oppressor. And he's just trying to separate our people. You know what I'm saying? The best he can, trying to destroy us one by one. But it ain't gonna happen.
Damn right. But yeah, God, sir, we was gonna play this video that Officer Kamada has showed us, about this app to forewarn our people, about ICE. But here goes Kamada.
It's Spanish, but I can translate it.
All right, no sweat.
Quitar eso. Aquí en tu teléfono móvil vas a bajar una aplicación que se llama Padlet, Padlet. Ya bajando la aplicación vas a crear una cuenta y vas a buscar el mapa que diga feo.
Look for the map. Right? And he's about to tell you what map.
Over papers, gente sobre papeles. Y aquí en este mapa, fíjense bien, mire, pueden ver toda la gente que está tratando de ayudar a la comunidad. Estamos poniendo aquí cada lugar que se mira la migra. Aquí se mira que está mucha migra en Huntington Park, en la ciudad de Maywood. Se ha visto la migra. Si eres
All right, so all these little dots, you click on the green dots, and it tells you like that's where they are. That's where they are.
Right.
Ciudadano, te recomiendo que por favor bajes esta aplicación y reportes cada vez que miras a la migra. Si no tienes papeles, mi mejor recomendación es que trata de evitar salir lo más que se pueda, pero si por cualquier razón tienes que salir, aquí este mapa ojalá te ayude para que puedas evitar una deportación de la migra. Si te ayudó este video, por favor dale like, compártelo con un familiar, un amigo que ocupe este mapa. Si no tienes papeles.
God, so that was that ad. If I could, I did have a question for Officer Matabar. Hey, Salagi, sir, what state you from, Matawan?
Louisiana.
Okay, constant. And just a quick question, sir. In your state, in your area, what is the situation over there? Is the ICE raids is it going crazy out there as well with with ICE and then the Latino communities out there?
No, me personally, I haven't witnessed that out here.
Okay,
I stay in my whole neighborhood is full of Latinos.
Okay, okay. By any chance, so I mean, does it look like they're in under, do you kind of feel the atmosphere, right there with the community, is if they're under fear just because of everything that's going on?
I haven't seen it out here where I'm
Okay.
at because the police ain't riding around here like that.
Okay,
Ain't no agents, nothing jumping out. Like I said, my whole street is full of Latinos. The whole block is Latinos.
Most High in Christ. I ask those questions because that's how it is out here, right? And in LA, you can sense the fear in the community. Within my family, within a lot of brothers' families, they're living in fear. And I remember it's heavy it's heavy because Jeremiah Hyman brought that out earlier today in class, that's the exact reason why ICE is doing what they're doing. They want to strike fear in the community. They want to have our people afraid, right? And he's practically being a bully, is what it is.
The oppressor is the devil. The Bible speaks of.
Right.
He gonna, like I say, he gonna try any way he can to try to separate us. When we come together, we strong. We strong together.
Right.
He gonna find any way he can.
And I'll tell you this too, like a lot of this, what he's doing is pushing us together.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of Judites and Israelites are, realizing that bullshit of the gang banging is like irrelevant right now. If y'all don't know, of course, Los Angeles is a little more on the racial side between Black and Hispanics. Not as heavy as it used to be, but it's still out there. But all that shit went out the window. Unless you see some Uncle Toms out there, because of course, like we was talking about earlier, I know Yashkar said it earlier. Like you got Uncle Toms, you got Theo Tomases, you got traitors in our race on both ends. Judah and Issachar, and probably all the 12 tribes, there's traitors in all over our tribes. But right now in like Los Angeles, you starting to see like that black and brown thing going on, like So this thing that Donald Trump is doing is pushing us together. Like that division that we had, like that's going away. Like Judah looking at us like the way they're fucking with you is the way they're fucking with us. The way you're being oppressed, the way we're being oppressed, and like it's like forcing us to come together.
Right.
But of course, we got to end up in here, like because if we're not in here, we're not gonna have that structure. We're not gonna have that, that those laws that keep us together.
Right.
So that's why it's important for us to, definitely we got to go out there, like Masalaki. We got to hit one of them protests.
I mean, they're going, sir. So
people. Go ahead.
Say, sir, Khan. Looks like this is gonna be going on all week. So we got, definitely let's get out there.
I just had 2 days ago. The Latino sister next door to me. I think she Honduran or something. She just gave my daughter a whole baby bed yesterday. I can't speak Latin. I can't speak Spanish, but she just gave my daughter a whole baby bed. There ain't no issues out here like that. Like we don't go through that I hate you, we hate each other thing. Like I said, my whole goddamn street is all Latinos.
Damn right, sir.
So,
time Christ, man.
If I could, since we're in a topic about, so-called blacks and Hispanics being, one and the same, I just wanted to show, and a shout out to Officer Bakar, we was chopping it up, and I was telling them how, they're making Latinos carry their green cards or like their birth certificate, and this is just to show you that blacks and Hispanics are one and the same, right? Because what blacks went through, we went through. What we went through, blacks went through, right? And if you could look up, it's called a Freedom Papers.
Freedom Papers, right?
Freedom Papers, right? Freedom Papers, and that's the same energy that now they're saying that Hispanics are going to have to carry their green cards to show proof, right? And that's the same thing that happened with our brothers. You know what I mean? They had to carry freedom papers to show proof, right, that they were not slaves.
Right.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
remember
So,
the conversation. Yeah. Here's
yeah,
the Google search for it. So this is what it says. It
you
says,
can read a little bit on it, and then I want to say
in the
something about it.
context of slavery, freedom papers refer to documents that formally documented the free status of an African American individual, often requiring proof of their birth, purchase of freedom, and manumission. These documents served as legal proof of freedom, sometimes necessary to prevent mistaken enslavement or kidnapping.
Right. You know what I mean? So
That's
back
crazy.
then, so back then, being black man, you were automatically a suspect of being enslaved unless you had paper proof. You know what I mean? And today, being brown, especially if you have a Spanish accent or you look, like what Salah was saying earlier, you got a nopal on your forehead, you know, like that means you automatically a suspect of being illegal unless you got documentation on deck. You know what I mean? And back then, like free black people had to carry freedom papers. And then today, now they're saying that Hispanics, right? If Hispanics are often, are going to feel the pressure to carry, their green cards or their citizenship proof. You know what I mean? And
Right.
then back then, they didn't have no papers. They were at risk of being kidnapped or re-enslavement or imprisonment. And then today, having no papers is the risk of detention, deportation, or ICE raids. You know what I mean? And the system was built to keep, back then, black folks controlled, servile, and second class. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with the immigration system. That they do the same thing they're going to start doing the same thing to, the brown communities. Constant surveillance, fear, what we were saying, putting fear and criminalization. That's what they're saying. You know what I'm saying?
If I could, yeah,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna share this precept comment out to what you brought out, right?
Okay,
this is Jeremiah 50:33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. Of course, the children of Israel is talking about the northern kingdom, right, which is so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. And the children of Judah, which is the southern kingdom, right, which is the so-called blacks, West Indians, the Haitians, right, were oppressed together. Right. And what is that example? As you just brought out, the freedom papers. Well, what are the freedom papers today? That green card, that birth certificate. Right. If you don't have those things, you can get deported. You can get kidnapped. And then what happens when you get deported? You get sent to the immigration detention center, and then you get sent to a prison somewhere in El Salvador or a nation outside the United States to do hard labor, to do slavery, right? To go back into slavery. And it's crazy because that's what happened with our black brothers and sisters, in the time of slavery, which shows that this scripture is talking about us, man. Because look at the next part. And all that took them captives held them fast. ICE, what is back then, the runaway slave patrol, right? Were hunting down both so-called blacks and Hispanics. And they refused to let them go. They were catching them to keep them from being free, to put them back into slavery, to put them back in bondage, which is what's happening today, man. And it's not it's not that far out, because now you had the 13th Amendment, and you had the 3 strikes you're outlaw. You had the war on drugs. You had the crime bill, and now you have the immigration law. Now you have the, Trump's stance on immigration and the border wall and all that, which is meant to target us, which is meant to hold us captives,
Right.
And them refusing to let us go. But Salaki, I just wanted to add that, Karna.
Because they know we're the same people. They know that. Just like they know them Caucasian South Africans are they people. That's why they won't let them over here, because they Caucasian.
Right.
They know they the same people. It's like they accept the Russians and everybody else, those Israelis. That's why they look out for them. Like they look out for their own goddamn people, but when it comes to us, they want to try to destroy and separate us. They want to try to cause divisions and have us going against each other because we are the same people. They don't want us strong together, but they want to come strong together in this goddamn America. You know.
Sir.
Right. And if I could,
Go ahead, Kanal Salaki.
and Salaki Canal, a lot of brothers, Hispanics and blacks, don't know that Hispanics, we were the first ones to go into slavery. That we were the first ones out there in the cotton fields. We were the first ones to go to through that transatlantic slave trade. That we were slaves too. It's something they don't. A lot of our brothers, they don't know that we're so alike. That we're the same people. We went through the same curses. Up to now, our people are still working the cotton fields, not just here in America, but now all over the world for all kinds of other nations. Like we still the same people. That's something that our our people should know, that there's nothing different about us. We're the same people, the same curses, everything. We've all lived the same way. There's nothing different about us. And all of this, carnal, I feel like all of this is a spiritual thing that's going on, because it's only through war, through pain, through hate, that's when we learn to unite. And right now this is a time to unite, under the ISUPK, because any other movement is gonna fail. So like General Muhammad said, there's been a lot of movements. You got the Black Panthers, you got the Chicano movement, you got all kinds of movements, and they all failed because they're not under, under the law, statutes, and commandments. They're not under the truth. No, this is the only place where it's not gonna fail, in the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana. That's all.
When I speak to brothers, I say that all the time. When they be certain brothers you'll talk to, they'll be like, "Oh, well, Mexicans don't like us." I'm like, "Them our brothers," but you got to understand, they went to slavery first. You know, they was destroyed first by the goddamn Caesar Borgia and everything. So you can't talk about they hate us. They just went into slavery before us. We all the same people. That's why we do the same goddamn things. That's our brothers. You can't be mad at them because they went into slavery first and they got tortured and destroyed and had to go under that Christianity first.
If I could, sir, also a lot of that, right? The whole notion that there's a big black and brown beef out here in Southern California. Yeah, there's black and brown beefs out here, but not at the level that the internet pushes, and what it really is, right, is just gang politics and gangs just beefing with one another. But there's a lot of black and brown gangs that actually get along with each other, man, and actually get down together. So it's like, of course, people want to spin the narrative, but a lot of it is not what it seems to be, and really, it's more fake news pushed for this oppressor that keeps the two groups fighting each other and to jam them up.
Right, to keep us divided. That's all that shit is, to keep us divided. Like I said, they know if we united together, they don't stand a chance when they come to us. That's what they always did to Israel. They try to divide us.
God.
Salaki, if I could.
Go ahead, Kanan.
And that's heavy, carnal, because I've been told the same thing. Now blacks don't like us, this and that, but it's the same thing. Like, we're at war with each other. I tell them straight away, well, you don't like those vatos from Little Mex or from 18th Street or from this and this and that. Like, you're killing each other over BS, over nothing, over streets that we don't even own, barrios that the oppressors own. We're at war with each other, and so is Judah. Right. So is the blacks. Like, we killing each other by ourselves. So we can't say they don't like us. It's that we don't even like our own damn selves. That's how cursed we are. We're we see ourselves and we don't even like ourselves. You know, we live such a cursed life that you look at yourself in the mirror with hatred. So in everybody that looks like you want to be on some hatred levels. You know, it could be, you know, yeah, we all lived a hardcore life, but you know, I know that from experience. When I was in the world, I hated everybody. I, I hated everybody because it didn't even matter what it was. Like everybody irritated me. I just wanted to smash on everybody. I didn't care. You know, it's only when I got under the ISUPK that actually learned how to be a man, how to be a civilized person. I couldn't even hold a conversation without, you know, thinking about violence or thinking I don't think this fool can last. You know, like I'm pretty sure I'll knock this fool out in two, three punches and all that. You know, it's the mentality that we're raised, and social media has a lot to do with it. You know, but that's the way it is. At the end of the day, we're at war amongst ourselves, and you know, the Lord's gonna make it where, one way or another, we're gonna have to unite through war, through unaliving by our oppressors. The Lord's gonna show us that we can only depend on each other. Blacks and Hispanics and natives, we're the only ones that can depend on ourselves. And as long as we got all these Uncle Toms on that side, it's gonna keep going until one of their family members gets unalived by one of these monsters, by one of these devils, by one of these oppressors. Then they're gonna understand the hatred that we have towards them for everything they've done to us. Because it's like the general said, who do you have to blame for the life that you live, for the life that your parents live, for your grandparents, for all these curses? Blame the goddamn oppressor.
Right.
Because it's because of them. It's their fault, carnal. This is their world. This is their kingdom, and they set it up for us to fail. Unless we play by the rules, we fail. And a lot of us cannot. We don't have that luxury of having two parents. Or if we do, you know, like my pops, Vato was a straight up cartel Vato. He died at the age of 42 in prison. You know, like he was an off and on father. I had to learn how to be a man by myself. And to me, I thought being a man was being violent. To me, I thought being a man was shooting at people or moving, you know, doing all kinds of illegal things. I thought that going to prison, carnal, that was like the main. To me, going to prison, carnal, that was like Hebrew Academy. Yeah, I trained all my life mixed martial arts for that day where I go to prison and I would join the gang, the prison gang, because that's what goes where I'm from. It's the prison gangs and the cartels that run it. Most of the prison gangs work for the cartels because that's where the money's at. But those are the ones that really run the show. So I thought I'd have to go to prison to be a man. So my father went to prison. He got murdered there. So I was like, nah, the prison's not going to kill me. You know, I'm going to go in there and, you know, like the Hebrew Academy. I was like, I'm going to make it. I'm not going to drop my cover. I'm going to make it. You know, but the Lord wasn't having it like that. I went through so many other things where the Lord just wasn't having that.
Damn right.
But yeah, that's the mentality that our people have. Cause now we destroy each other because of the self-hatred for each other. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if they're blacks or Hispanics. Cause that's just another reason to hate them. Like a different street, a different gang, another reason. Go ahead, sir. So like.
That's a lot. That's why the oppressor pushed the Crips and Bloods, pushed the Northaniels and the Southaniels. You know, it's all over goddamn color. That's why they have us destroying one another over goddamn colors and over which street you grew up on and all that. And it's the same thing in prison. When they separate us for a reason. Because look at the goddamn precedent in the prison system. If the Negroes and the Latinos together in the prison system together, then we gonna outrun the goddamn oppressor in the prison system.
Right.
But it's a separation that make us hate one another, make us destroy one another. And we all learn this behavior from the goddamn oppressor. Because that's what he wants. He likes seeing us destroying one another.
So like what's that precept you shared just now? It was a Jeremiah 15:33.
Yeah, Jeremiah 15:33. You want to put it back on?
Yeah, Khan. Well, you don't have to. I just wanted to say this, that you know both kingdoms, you know, Judah and Israel, which is, you know, black and Hispanics, right? Like we sin against the Most High, And instead of unity, like we fought each other. Instead of like righteousness, we follow the wickedness of the heathen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Our disobedience just uh didn't just break the law, it broke the bond between blacks and Hispanics.
Right.
And now and we suffer together because we sin against the Lord. What unites us now isn't is you know what I mean? It's our shared pain. You know what I mean? And the thing is that to we got to look at that pain and what's it like today that both black and brown are in the same prisons, the same ghettos, the same immigration cages, the same system of oppression targeting us all, police brutality, mass incarcerations, deportations, and different heads on the same beast, which is America, the oppressor. ICE raids homes of so-called Hispanics, being broken into, and that's the same thing of our brothers, gunning, so-called blacks down in the streets. It's a different method, but it's the same oppression.
Right,
And then right there, Jeremiah said that we are oppressed together because we were cursed together. You know what I mean? And that's one thing we got to realize, man. And to break this curse, we have to come back together like brothers and sisters, like that family.
Salakia. What's more beautiful is the scriptures say we gonna come together instead of being two sticks, we gonna be one stick.
Damn right, sir. Damn
So that's
right.
the
And
most
that's
beautiful
what I mean.
thing
Like we
about
can only so like I said, if I could, like we can only become that stick under the laws of God. We can't become a stick under anything else, but under the authority of the Most High, and that is being obedient to the Lord, following His laws, statutes, and commandments. That was it, sir.
Right.
So like,
That's
I'm
why.
gonna step up.
For Salakia, I was about to say, that's why Trump know that he trying to, that's why they playing them games they playing or not.
Huh.
That's why they doing what they doing now, thinking they destroying us, but it's gonna make us stronger together because we gonna become that one stick. It's already prophesied that we gonna be that one stick.
So like, sir, was this the precept we was talking about, Ezekiel 37:16? It reads, "Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions." Verse 17, "And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thy hand."
Damn right. It's letting you know that's how you know. Regardless of what they trying to do, they cannot destroy this brotherhood. They try. They try to separate us. Even our own people go against each other. We go against you know what I'm saying? We go against each other. The scriptures already telling you we gonna be one stick again. Just like we was when we had the whole kingdom, northern southern kingdom, we was one stick. We gonna be back to a whole kingdom together. Israel gonna be joined together as one.
Concern, if I could, it said the house. What it said, the house of Jacob,
the house
or the
of
house
Joseph.
of Israel.
Yeah,
Oh, it said the house of Joseph.
Yeah, Salakia. For Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, for all the house of Israel, his companions.
There you go. The house for all the house of Israel. You know what I mean? All the house of Israel is a family. That's the 12 tribes of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? So the sticks that it's talking about is a family. That family is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Damn right.
That's what we do in ISUPK. We come together as one family.
Damn right.
All the 12 tribes. We building that one stick back. That's how we supposed to be. We ain't supposed to hate each other, and unalive each other, and destroy each other. We
Right.
already got the oppressor doing it to us.
Right.
Kind. And so, like I said, if I could, what you were saying, like we're not supposed to be doing, we're not supposed to be harming each other, man. We're supposed to be in the spirit of Christ. Christ said, if you did it for one of the least of mine, you've done it for me. You know what I mean? Everybody says that they follow Christ, they believe in Christ. Well, you know what I mean? Reality check, you don't believe in Christ and you don't follow Christ. Because he said if you do it so like just paraphrasing, he said when you clothe me, you fed me, and you're gonna say, when did I do that? Right? And he said, when you did it for one of the least of mine, you did it for me. And that's what we need to be doing. We need to be having our best interest in mind. You know what I mean? You see your brother struggling, you help him out. You see your sister struggling, you help her out, man. You know what I mean? And you get that help in the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge.
Right, Karna. What's that Christian saying? They say, what would Jesus do? Well, there you go. That's what he would do.
Kind.
You know, and just right now, these times that are coming, right, this is just the beginning. Worse is yet to come, and you're going to see firsthand, you know, what Christ would do in the situations. You're going to want to turn to Christ, and you're going to know that that fake Jesus that you've been praying to in that Christian church doesn't have the answers and can't do anything for you, man. You're going to know that the ISUPK is the only home of the truth and the only safe place of refuge for us, man. You know, it's going to take times like these to help us wake up, man. It's all biblical.
Right.
Lord Allah can find the footage coming down, but I don't know if you recall at the, what was it, the 55th Passover, the 54th, right, where Commander Yohana was at the Feast of Unleavened Bread and saying how it was going to get beforehand.
I remember we talked about it.
Yeah, he was talking about it. You know, so things are gonna get crazy, but in the time when when things get crazy, man, that's when you turn to the ISUPK, man, where you come to learn about the Most High in Christ. You know, and it shouldn't be shocking, you know, that all this is happening. I mean, I just found this footage right now. Look at this. Oh man, did I take it off? Hold on. Let me share this footage.
Hey, should I do more about you, Bob?
That footage.
Hey, should I do more about you, Bob?
There was a video of a sheriff slamming a young teen boy behind it.
Hey, should I do more about you, Bob?
Oh, there it is. Look at this. And you know, it's heavy that these videos get shared because this is the exact reason why people are, as we stated earlier, this is the exact reason why people are out there doing what they're doing, you know. And what shows is a lack of humanity because people will turn around and say, well, burning the American flag and you know, burning down your neighborhoods, you know, you're not gonna get your message across for your cause. And people don't, these devils don't understand that this isn't about a cause. This is a reaction. The people are angry, you know what I mean? Raza's angry and they don't know how to channel that energy. You know what I mean? You took away their parents, you took away their livelihoods, you destroyed their lives. They don't know how to react to it, so they go and do these things. You know, you oppressors do worse, man. Y'all burn down Capitol. Y'all go and defecate in the what was it in the senator's that office or something like that. Y'all go and attack police officers. And you want to talk about law and order, man? Go ahead, Commandant. You trying to say something?
Yeah, I think it was, what's that woman's name? Something Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, man, I remember when all the footage was shown, they were saying, "We're coming for you, bitch." That's what they were saying. So I mean, you know,
and the crazy part is they don't do this to the goddamn East Indians that come over here.
Right.
They don't do this to the Ukrainians that was begging for help.
Right.
They only do this to our people.
Resisting, right? I guess the sister got beat up because she was trying to antagonize the crowd. See, once again, not condoning this, but you got a people that's angry and you don't go and argue with them and think, you know, try to have a rational argument, man. They just went through some trauma. It's not going to be rational. It's going to be violence because of anger.
Just want to say, you know, to all the stupid Negroes that say we should be like this and hate one another, we come from the same goddamn father. So we all come from the same father. You would have Negroes looking at this saying, "Oh, that's what they get. They stealing my job." They ain't stealing your job. This ain't what they get. To apply to all of us. You're the same goddamn people.
There's actually a couple of videos I want to share since we on that topic, right? And of course, I want to share the video of Charleston White. I don't know y'all saw what he said.
I don't be watching him because he be saying shit and then he be saying dumb
wild shit.
Malagma, I'm gonna send you a video. I'm gonna send you a video. You know what Officer 5000 Model Bar was saying, right? That they don't do this to other heathens. I'm gonna send you. I'll just send you a video right now on Instagram.
I got it right here.
Got it? Yeah, If you could show that real quick before you go into the
United States from Mexico without visas, taking irregular overland routes across Latin America. Over the course of 3 weeks, Reuters witnessed hundreds of Chinese nationals along an isolated border stretch in southeastern Texas.
See what they say.
Reuters interviewed more than 2 dozen of them. All of those interviewed said they got the idea to take the land route on social media and draw on influencers, private groups, and comments to plan their trips.
The people here, the police here, that's to be American. That's America in my head.
A growing number of Chinese migrants are crossing into the United States from Mexico without visas.
Brings them over to America and bless America for that.
Imagine that.
Did you hear the last part?
No, yeah, I'm gonna play it again.
Across Latin America. Over the course of 3 weeks, Reuters witnessed hundreds of Chinese nationals along an isolated border stretch in southeastern Texas. Reuters interviewed more than 2 dozen of them. All of those interviewed said they got the idea to take the land route on social media and draw on influencers, private groups, and comments to plan their trips.
The people here, the police here, are simply American. That's the America that you might have.
A growing number of Chinese.
So what was he saying, Kamada, about Mexican Americans?
He said the police is here and they're very kind. He said, "Bless America."
Imagine
It's
that.
like what Officer Matabar was saying, that they don't treat them like they treat us, man. These folks, you know, these damn Mongolos are coming into America from Mexico, right? When we come to America, we got to cross through the desert, and what they do, they find our people, and they'll pour their water. These guys are crossing through the backyard. And he was saying that police finds us and they're kind, and God bless America.
Look at this, Karnal. This is Deuteronomy 28:43. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Malakma.
I said this is Deuteronomy 28:43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. He's in there talking about how they treat him nice and stuff. So he's on a higher state than the Rasa. And thou shalt come down very low. We get blamed for the immigration problems. We get blamed for the Chinese coming over here, man. You know what I mean?
We know who the real immigrants is.
Right.
It's the goddamn oppressor. It's the Chinese, Japanese, the East Indian, all these other nations. They come into this one goddamn, it's America. They come here and still oppress us. They got high above us. Every time they come here, they come here is tax. Oh, you ain't got to pay taxes for this many years. You can open up a goddamn corner store. You can do what you want. A nail salon, everything.
Right.
And when we do it, they get mad at us.
Sir. Yeah, kind of like they blame us. We're the scapegoat of all these issues, man. Whether it be crime, whether it be illegal immigration, we're always the scapegoat of all these negative things in America. And the irony of it is, we get blamed for America's problems, but meanwhile, when we talk about our problems, we're told we cannot blame the white man for anything.
Right.
You know,
they tell us to forget about it.
Tell us to forget about it, and that traumatizes us, and we turn on one another, man. We turn on one another, and we go and do, all types of things, man. So let me shout this brother up. Hey, Ramak Shalom, my Lord in Christ, man.
They really need
hop on. Not there is this article that I wanted to share. It was Charleston White, but I actually want to share this one because this is another example of the BS that spread, right? And of course, this comes from my side too, from the so-called Hispanic side. And this shows how black and brown in these situations turn on one another, man.
Right. Instead of our people seeing we are Israel,
Sir. So this is a user by the name of 44 Vato. He's known for, just spreading propaganda and controversy just for views and pays. And he made this post talking about, blaming the black community. He said, the black community is telling their people to not go to the Raza protest because it's not their problem. And I'm going to tell you what the problem is right here with this whole article, right? First, let me share the videos that he shared.
Don't be out there protesting. This is not our fight. Stay home. Don't be protesting. Don't be out there protesting.
I am not going to go outside and put my body and my safety on the line. That being said, I'm not saying people should not go out and protest. If it's in your spirit to go out there and help in that way, definitely do that. But I am not going to do that for someone who would not piss on me if I was on fire, if the roles were reversed. Because, let's be serious. We all saw the results. I am not going to go outside and...
So it's just he showed two TikTok reels of,
in LA, mind your business.
Right
this don't got nothing to do with us. ICE and the National Guard being in LA has nothing to do with us. I don't understand rallying behind a whole bunch of people that hard ER you. They don't even like you for real. Everybody want to...
Go ahead, sir.
Just the bullshit with that. They don't. This how you know they Christians when Christ said, "Put your life on your line for your brother."
Right.
They so ignorant in Christianity, they don't understand we the same people. Christianity got them destroyed. They'll go put their life on the line for the oppressor, but they won't do it for their own brother or sister. That's the propaganda and the bullshit of it. You got it.
Yeah, if I could, that's one side, sir, that you brought up, but here's the other side, right? And it goes back to this cat right here. He does what a lot of brothers and sisters have done online, where they'll spin narratives. As you see, he said the black community, and it's only 3 reels that I've seen of so like ignorant brothers and sisters saying lies, and encouraging their people not to back up Mexicans because Mexicans hate them. But for him to say the black community because of 3 people is him spinning a narrative in itself. You can't take 3, people that feel a certain way and try to make it seem like it's an entire community. There's a lot of black people that were out there backing up the raza, and then when they say that Mexicans don't care, there's a lot of Mexicans that went and backed up, march for during George Floyd, because that's what they like to use. They say, oh, well, the Mexicans weren't here when we were protesting George Floyd. Yes, they were. And there was black people that backed us up during our immigration, protests. But
before you start, that's the thing that shit really burns deep in me, because I hate when ignorant Negroes, do shit like this, because we the same goddamn people. But you will put your life on the line for the goddamn oppressor. You go join the Navy, you go join a police force, they military, every goddamn thing. You put your life on the line for them, but when it comes to our people,
right,
you got it.
Nah, sir, and really what it is that this cat right here, he's pushing this because it gets attention, it gets likes, it gets views and comments, but he doesn't it's like they don't care about the adverse effects, because sadly our people believe everything on the internet. Our people believe that just because it's on the internet, it's true. So yeah, that's just something that I wanted to touch on, and know that the solution to this, right, to end this, is to be in here in the UPK, where black and brown, we know that we're brothers and sisters in here, man. And here we back each other up. Out there in the world, everyone's against one another because you don't know who you are. You've been destroyed. You've been colonized. You've been, indoctrinated.
Right, and they'll do the same goddamn thing if it was Native Americans. Like, we so destroyed to hate each other. If it was Native Americans out there, don't go. I ain't going to protest for them. And we the same damn people.
Right.
You don't see who the oppressor is destroying all us together. Like, you that goddamn ignorant.
Right.
Christianity destroyed you that goddamn much. You can't see that we are the same people. We come from the same goddamn father.
Sir. So yeah.
And if I could,
go ahead, Canal.
How they were saying that we're not the same people, and it's not our problem. But if you go back in history, carnal, Mexico has always helped out the black community, carnal. What is that? The underground road where everybody would, where slaves used to flee to Mexico. America tried to go get them back, carnal, and Mexico said, hell no. They're here, they're free, and that's it. And we went to war with these devils, carnal, for our black brothers. We went over there, we fought in the Alamo for him, carnal.
Right.
We lost San Antonio. The Lord was not with us, carnal. We gotta understand, when it comes to warfare right now, if we're not with the Lord, our oppressors, they're gonna come victorious over us. But that didn't stop us from fighting for our brothers. We have a history, carnal, of always fighting for our brothers. That we've always been together. And for brothers, that's just what you call uneducated, carnal. Like, those people need to go to the history. Or who knows, carnal, a lot of brothers wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for Mexico. For Mexicans fighting for them, for their freedom as well. Because we weren't taking none of that. They wanted, they wanted their slaves back, and that it's money. America's always been about money. And we say, hell no. And we tighten up our loins and let's go to war then. Come get them. Let's go to war. And we did, carnal, and we died for them, carnal. You know what I'm saying? So it's just these brothers and sisters, they just don't know the whole fact. It goes back to they didn't know that we were slaves first, that we are the original cotton pickers, that we went through the transatlantic trade first. Like everything happened to us first. We got conquered by the same goddamn devils, carnal. By the same devils. It's in Europe, by same European devils. There's just different languages, but it's the same thing. They don't know how much alike, that we're familia, that we're actually family, and we know it in our spirits. But it's like the officer said, that's Christianity to the fullest, because that's what it was designed to do. It was designed to let our oppressors rule over us. They can rape, kill, unalive our people, and we have to forgive them in the name of baby white Jesus.
Right.
We have to forgive him in the name of those naked little pedophilia angels that they have in all these churches. We have to forgive him in the name of their own image. Has nothing to do with us. So that's how much of a disease these religions that were given to us by our oppressors are. It's worse than cancer, carnal. It's at least when you're dying of cancer. You don't know when you're dying of Christianity. Like that's how deep it is. But that's it. That's all I had to say.
So like, if I could real quick, wow, we're fighting against one another, right? And got our distracted. This is what's happening as we speak. Let me share this clip.
So like my real quick, I just wanted to add, I just want to say shout out to Officer, a Captain 13,000. Out there in Texas, what's his name?
Captain
Yatazak. Captain Yatazak, man. He out there at the Alamo speaking up for, the Hispanic raza. What I mean? And shout out to my brother, man. That we're showing that we not Christians, man.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? Just like how we did it for our brothers back in the day. You know what I mean? Captain Yatazak and his whole team out there at the Alamo, man. Speaking up for our Hispanic brothers. You know what I mean? And showing and proving that we are the same people. I just want to say that real quick.
I just want to say shout out to Commander General Honda for bringing us all together. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
He brought us together as a nation that we should be. Because Christianity destroyed all our people.
Right.
Oppressors got all our people thinking that we ain't the goddamn same. Just because we speak a different language, you speaking Spanish, I'm speaking English. That don't mean we ain't the same. We've been destroyed by all these goddamn nations, and they do their best to try to separate us and destroy us. That's their whole mission. Their goal is to try to separate and destroy us. We are the same people because they know if we come together as a nation, we're gonna overrun shit.
Right. Go ahead, sir.
That's like, if I could real quick, and I was gonna say, and you're starting to see that Hispanics are starting to appreciate, Judah speaking up for them. That's why that one brother that did that TikTok, brother, I believe that brother's from Oaxaca. You get what I'm saying? He got a good following on TikTok, but that brother did a video from the brothers out there in Texas. I believe his brother Daiwan, and he pretty much saying he appreciate that brother speaking up. You know what I mean? And I seen Nadazab as well. Nadazab do TikTok videos, and there's a lot of Hispanics on that TikTok saying, "Man, that brother invited to the carne asada. That brother right there, he's speaking it right." A lot of black and brown unity comments. You know what I mean? But for sure, like the times that we're living in right now, for the Judahites that speak up, or anybody that speak up, whether you're Puerto Rican, Dominican, Haitian, when you start speaking up on this, I know a lot of our people appreciate that. You know what I mean? And of course, we got to do it, vice versa. I remember General Hyman said, whatever problem the Mexican has is the black man's problem. And whatever
Right.
problem the black man have, that's the Mexican's problem as well. You get what I'm saying? Because we got the same oppressor. And that's the way we got to start looking at it. Like, we got to throw away that division, the separation, throw away all the gang bang stupid mentality, all the bullshit that we learned in America. That thing got to go.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And then we got to start really, really looking at each other like as brothers and family. You know what I mean? Otherwise, we always gonna separate. Like, we're gonna separate ourselves because that's something we're good at. We're good at pointing the differences from each other. You know,
Right.
we're good at separating ourselves from each other. We're excellent at that, and we learned that shit from our oppressors, Salakia. You know what I mean? But we got to throw all that away. Right now, there's too much going on for us to be separating ourselves over, BS. Them white folks, you got them white militias out there. They coming together. You know what I mean? Them white cats, the militias, they're out there training, they're shooting. They're getting they're getting it together. And
Right.
what we gonna beef it over? What, over a language? We gonna beef it over a street, a hood, a neighborhood? You speak better Spanish than me. You're light skinned, you're dark skinned. You from LA, you from Texas. Man, all that has to go because we got an
Right.
enemy really trying to hunt us down right now. And
Right.
it's right here at the doorstep. You got you got this happening in LA. It's gonna happen in Chicago, it's gonna happen in New York, it's gonna happen in Houston, Dallas, Austin. It's coming to your door. So right now is that time to put away all that BS, and come together. It's like gonna pass to the next brother.
Nah, if I
Like I
could, real
said,
quick.
my whole street is full of Latinos. They Zebulon, they Mexican, so-called Mexican, so-called, but my whole street is Latino. Like the whole goddamn block. We don't have no problems. We get together, we talk, do parties, share information, share food, whatever. Ain't no issues out here. They don't be doing the gang banging shit out here where I'm at. I ain't never seen them run up doing no gang banging shit, none of that. But they know we the same people. That's why we connect with each other. Because we do the same thing. We listen, we got the same flavor. But your oppressor,
Right.
his hatred is so he hates when we come together. That's what I'm saying. He hates when we come together. He tried to destroy that. But he can't destroy what the Most High already got set and put together. We one stick. We a
Damn right.
family. We know we a family.
Damn right.
We can't listen to these coon ass Negroes, some Mexican that they propped up there to speak and accept what they say. We can't listen to that. We ain't about to bow down to that foolishness.
Right.
We know we the same people. We know we love one another. We know we come from the same goddamn background. We all getting oppressed.
Damn right, sir. If I could, I just want to share this real quick. While all that's going on, this is what's happening right now.
Just in from 29 Palms is about a dozen white transport buses, presumably filled with hundreds of deployed Marines, left the 29 Palms military base tonight. These are combat troops who the Pentagon says have been trained in de-escalation and the rules of the use of force. They're headed toward Los Angeles, but their final destination not publicly revealed. A statement from the U.S. Northern Command says the Marines of the 2nd Battalion, 7th Marine Regiment will be working with the National Guard troops already deployed here to, quote, protect federal personnel and federal property in the greater Los Angeles area. This new video just in from 20.
So that's what's going on. They're sending in the Marines, right, as the episode's titled, and we're too busy turning on one another to not see the bigger threat. And it's sad that we let petty things try to
separate us.
Yeah, separate us and be against one another. Just because this group supposedly doesn't protest with you doesn't mean that they're not your people. And your own people won't even be in the protest with you. That mean they're not your people no more. And that goes for both so-called Hispanics and so-called Black people. At some point we got to learn, right? What Christ say, to forgive your brother up to 70 times 70, right? You have that forgiveness for them, since you know. But of course, we'll find some reason to hate one another and never forgive one another. But we'll give all our love and all our forgiveness to Esau, to America. You know, we got to wake up. Go ahead, sir.
We forgive the oppressor for every goddamn thing.
God,
you would, like I said, you adjourn their military, adjourn their police force, all everything. Like, you wouldn't forgive them for destroying our people.
God.
You will march and let's forgive. Like, you'll get shot up, you'll get unalive in the church and forgive them. But when it comes to one another, it's like, oh, we can't forgive one another because you was taught that way.
Right.
We was taught to be divided and separated. But they not divided and separated. They come together for every damn thing. That's what we need to do.
Right.
Our people need to stop being ignorant. Oh, he's Latino. Oh, he's black. Oh, they don't speak the same. They taught us all these goddamn stupid languages. And our original language is the Hebrew. That language shouldn't be no goddamn divider.
Right.
Mexican, blacks, Latinos, blacks, so-called blacks, Haitians, we all the same goddamn people. We are the same. Your oppressor destroys us. That's what destroys us and keep us separated. That's the ones that put all the drugs in our communities, the guns in our communities.
Right. God.
Like, I'm not, it's a lot. That shit really, that shit pisses me off. I love my motherfucking Latino brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
My Zeppelin brother, a couple years ago, he passed away. May he rise again. I grew up with him. After he seen I was in the truth, he came into the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit really pisses me off because we the same goddamn people. We go through the same struggle.
So, like, sir, are you talking about Officer Sarad?
God.
Hey, man, may that brother rise again, man.
I grew up with that brother since 2001.
Man, Most High in Christ.
It was way 2001 or something. I met that brother.
Most High in Christ,
like,
man.
We was cool. Matter of fact, he stayed right across the highway from me. All these goddamn years in the truth.
Damn,
brother, right up the street from me. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't speak Latino, but that's still my fucking brother.
Damn right.
Like, and that's the shit that pissed me off. Like, people got these stupid ignorant Negroes. Oh, they Mexicans or they this. We the same. We going through the same oppression.
Damn right.
We all been destroyed together. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right, sir.
So, like, real quick, Black Man. Remember, there was some Israelites saying the same thing. With the when the Judeans were protesting, he was saying the same thing. Oh, those are black people's problems. Why do we gotta go protest with them? It's the same thing. We got dumb, we got
idiots
dumb
on both
motherfuckers in our tribe too. Like, they think they're saying something heavy. Not everybody need to be on the platform. Not everybody need to be, getting attention for saying dumb shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know what's heavy? I don't want, if I could, that argument is made on both sides. Both sides say that about one another. And it's the same argument. That's how you know we're the same people.
And they don't realize who started the argument. Who told you all this dumb shit? Your oppressor.
Man.
Your oppressor taught you that Christianity to hate each other.
God, sir.
So he could rule over your ass.
Damn right. God.
Like, come on, man.
Hey,
and you gotta think about who's saying it too, like this cat probably some meth head, weed head,
right,
out there doing dumb shit, and he go on the internet saying, "Oh, we shouldn't be protesting with black people." You know what I mean? Like, who are you to say anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, you should just not say anything. Go back to
Right.
smoking your crack and smoking your pipe. You know, that's what
Right.
you're good at. But when it comes to
Oh,
speaking up
right.
for our people, man, that ain't
Right.
your lane. You know, you
Right.
ain't got no business saying what we should be doing. We should be what
Right.
we shouldn't be doing.
Right.
Man, Salak,
Go ahead,
Salak,
Salak.
if I could, carnal, shit, there's even Mexicans speaking against Mexicans, talking about they're not the same. Talking
Right.
about, hey, well, they don't have papers. They're not like us. We're not going to go march for them. They look exactly the same, carnal. In fact, probably the vatos that do have papers from this side, they look more Mexican than the vatos that don't. You know, and they want to talk about we're not the same. The vato looks like Moctezuma himself. He looks like an indigenous Mexican, carnal, in there, still with the long braids, and he want to talk about, now we're not the same people. You know what I'm saying? You got Mexicans that live on this side, you know, with heavier accents than the ones from the other side. You know, their English sounds like Spanish, but then they still want to separate from the Mexicans from Mexico. You know, because I seen videos like that too, carnal. I seen videos like that where Mexicans are like, no, I'm not gonna go march for these illegals.
Right. Yeah.
They should have come here legally. This and that. It's like, homeboy, your mama came here illegally. I said that they probably got pictures of your mama crossing the border just so you could be born. You know what I'm saying? Like probably you was born right after she crossed the river and she just threw you over the fence and there you go, American citizen. You know what I'm saying, carnal? Like there's stupidity on within all our tribes and ignorance. So that's just to say what back up what Officer Lahab was saying because that shit was heavy. Slack.
That's just the slave master, man. The slave master taking control of shit and trying to control our people and giving you the mind state of separation. That's what that shit is. Like we all know we the same goddamn people. Like I said, when you come into the ISUPK, you learn we the same goddamn people. Come from the same goddamn father, Jacob, the 12 tribes who generated 12 tribes. Nigga, we brothers.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what our people need to understand. But, I mean, if you don't come into the truth, you ain't gonna know about it. You ain't gonna understand it. But we in ISUPK, so we understand. Nigga, we brothers. We niggas together. You know what I'm saying?
But can you post that picture of that the Uncle Tom Mexican? The one with, the with the nopal
you talking about
on
the
his
nopal
forehead? That's
forehead?
the one I'm
Okay,
talking about. If you can break this down, I was trying to get everybody's opinion on it. That's why I texted you the other night because I want to get your opinion on this picture real quick. So it's a picture of an Israelite with a Donald Trump hat on and a cactus on his forehead. So I was trying to get you to break this down. Yeah,
let's check
pretty
it out,
much a nopal. I'm not gonna post it up right now.
What is he speaking against Mexicans or he's just trying to imitate one?
That's the
Oh,
picture.
that carnal. That's exactly what we're talking about, carnal. That's a full-blooded indigenous. That fool looks like he just barely crossed yesterday, and he's still off for Trump. Carnal, wasn't there some people also that were voting for Trump and came out on commercials, and then as soon as Trump got into presidency, they got deported, and they came out on the news again? You remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, carnal, that's exactly what it is. Self-hatred, carnal. That vato hates himself so much, he hates everybody that looks like him. You know what I'm saying? That's a full-blown traitor right there, carnal. And there's a lot of those. That's exactly what you were talking about right now, carnal. And what I was talking about, that's what it is right there. And you can't look at that vato. You can't get more Mexican than that, carnal. That's to the fullest.
And then we gotta realize too, just because somebody look like us don't always mean they us. His goddamn daddy could be Esau.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they use that shit. They use that shit to tear our cities and states up. They'll put somebody up there, and Esau don't give a damn. Oh, his mama Mexican, so that make him Mexican. When his daddy Esau, and that be the ones running our goddamn country. So when you look at it, he got, like they did with Obama. Oh, they put him up there. Oh, he brown skinned. He a nigga. He ain't no nigga. He a goddamn African.
It's like if I could real quick.
They use that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So they can put up somebody that look like they Mexican and his goddamn daddy be goddamn white. He ain't they you know Esau gonna teach you, oh that mean he Mexican. Nah, he ain't Mexican. His daddy Esau. His mama was Mexican. Now just like Bob Marley.
Right.
It be the same type of shit. And they fool our people with shit like that and let them people run our goddamn country, let them people run our states and everything, and we be thinking that's our people when they not. So you gotta know their background. Like, hold up, this nigga daddy Esau. You know what I'm saying?
If I
Right.
if I could,
Go ahead,
sir,
sir.
look, but I'll tell you this though. Unfortunately, a lot of cats like this are straight from Mexico, like father,
Right.
grandfather, straight from Mexico, and they come over here and then sell out as soon as they get them papers, and
Yeah.
that's why it's so heavy. Is because like these cats, some of these cats come illegally. They come
Right.
illegally, get their paperwork done, speak a little bit of English. Some of them don't even speak English, and they hate Mexicans. Some of the
Right.
kids don't even know a lick of English, and they're like, "Well, I have my citizenship. I got my papers together. You're illegal. I'm not. I came here the right way, and you know what? You're ruining it for everybody else that came here the right way." And
Yeah.
and that's
There's
that's the
plenty.
mentality. Like this picture right here that you see, like what Yashkar was saying. There's a lot of Mexicans like that. That they're not devils. They're not. They're not. They're not. The fathers are not Edomites.
Right. Yeah, I know what you're saying because a
Oaxaca,
lot of our people sell each other.
Michoacan,
A lot of our people sell us out
and they
too.
get in that paper makes them feel like they're above everybody.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of cats
Right.
like that. I don't look at them like, brother, you dark as hell, man. Like, you barely know
Yeah.
how to speak English, and they're like, nah, no, but I'm American, though, soy americano. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, but
A lot of our
that
people sell each
if
other
that's what you
out
say.
too. That be the problem too. A lot of our people sell each other out too, just so they can enjoy Esau kingdom. But that shit ain't nothing. You
And
feel
so
like
if
you're
I
a part of
could,
Esau kingdom. You feel like you're on top until all that shit fall. You gonna realize you done sold your own goddamn people out. You gonna have to suffer and pay for that shit. You gonna be the least in the goddamn kingdom.
if I could, like our people sell out without even paper, sir. Like it's like that woman. I think she Cuban, and she supports Trump, and then she got deported. You know what I mean? Like a lot of our people supporting Trump, and now they are regretting it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
they
saying?
like Negroes do the same shit. Negroes, I mean, look, he pardoned Negroes. He pardoned young NBA, shit like that.
Huh.
That's because you support Negroes rapping and talking about killing each other. You
Right.
support our people. You gonna support motherfuckers that's talking about killing each other, killing their own people. Oh, I'm gonna let him out of jail so he can keep rapping about that shit. And then he also giving gateway to our people to be like, oh look, he let this nigga out. Trump a good nigga. No, no. That ain't why he did that. He did that so he can get more votes. So our stupid ass people be like, let's vote for him. He let this nigga out. He let this no. When I say nigga, I'm talking about all of us. He let this nigga out. He let him out so he can get that support from our people. Like he did something good. When you let a motherfucker out just rapping on a song talking about killing everybody in the neighborhood.
So that's that a gift destroyed
A
their
gift
heart.
destroyed heart.
Yeah, so it's like they think that's a gift to get young boy NBA or whatever his name is back. That's what's going to destroy the minds of the youth.
Right.
You know what I mean? Picking up these switches and trying to make a name for themselves in the hood. You know what I mean? They're just gonna end up in prison, being forgotten.
Right. I let you out so I let you out so you can rap about sending more niggas to jail for me. Thank you. That's more money.
Okay.
That's more money for us. I let you out to rap about the shit you still rap about, because these niggas gonna be stupid and go out and do it, and that's gonna be more money for the jail system. But our people so blind to the shit, they cheering it on. Yeah, he let him out. Yeah, that shit don't mean shit. You think he love you because he let a criminal out of jail? He let somebody out that's talking about destroying the community. You think that's special? That shit ain't special. That's destruction.
So, what's that one brother? I think that they unalived him. He was on a death sentence, but you know he was innocent.
Where he was from?
Oh man, he was a Judite. I think it was like last year. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. Malakma, Officer Lahab, Officer Yashikar. I think it was last year. You know, like people were protesting and they were trying to sign petitions to do away with the death sentence. You know what I mean? I think it was a lethal injection or what have you. You know what I mean? Like if he want to show like, you know, I mean, he want to let somebody. No, it's not Larry Hoover, it's Salage. That's recent. It was another brother. It was another brother. Like last year or 2 years ago. You know what I mean? If you want to show like, you know, you want to let somebody out of jail, like, you know, let a brother who's been in there, you know, wrongfully convicted, let him out.
Yeah.
You know, and it's plenty.
He only let out the ones that been convicted. The ones that did some shit, he won't let them out.
Yeah, exactly, sir. Because that's who we idolize. We idolize we idolize wickedness, man. You know what I mean? And that's who they want to, they know that. They know that wickedness is their true, you know, lifestyle and culture, you know, and that's who they let out, you know, maybe because that's what
Christianity. Yeah, Christianity. That's what they praise.
We love to assimilate to that lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah, so they're gonna
Christianity praise. Christianity love the wicked. Your oppressor love the goddamn wicked. You know, public announcement. I love my goddamn Mexican brothers, Latino brothers. I love y'all niggas to death. Shit. We gonna go to war. We gonna die for each other in UPK.
Damn right, man. I love my black brothers, man. And I want to say this too. You know what I mean? Christianity has you right, because everything, like, the Lord doesn't give us a spirit, and our spirit is a Holy Spirit, meaning that it is a separate spirit from among every nation that's out there. And the reason why we can't prosper, the reason why we end up at the low state, you know, at the bottom of any condition, is because the lifestyle that we live, which is not the lifestyle that the Lord gave us. The Lord gave us an inheritance, man, and with that inheritance comes law, statutes, and commandments. And because we break our heritage, right, trying to live like the heathen, and that spirit is not congruent to the spirit that the Lord gave us, man. And that's the reason why we can't prosper trying to follow after the heathen. And that's the reason why he said, don't go into the way of the heathen, because our spirit is not congruent with the spirit of the heathen. You know what I mean? And we always gonna end up back at the bottom until we come back to the heritage that the Lord then give us, that, you know, we find in the Bible, man. I think it's that brother, sis, Marcellus Williams. Yeah, that brother was wrongfully convicted, and you know they put him under. I believe it's a lethal injection.
You on mute?
Who's that?
That's crazy. That this place needs to burn, man. That's all. Like, you know, like I could say, man, America needs to be destroyed and burned for the evil that it does to our people, man. So, you know, people want to think we're being anti-American. America is anti-us, you know, with the things that it does, man. But so like I don't want you we way past the time. We don't
I
we
know,
already
damn right. Hey, I just want to say too. Look, we got a podcast we started up in Louisiana too. Started a podcast back up. So when y'all want to get on, hit me up.
Oh,
I know
damn right.
y'all time zone different, but we gonna start ours from 8 to 10. So when y'all want to come on there, just hit me up and let me know. Y'all coming there. We need more brothers to see us unified together. You know what I'm saying?
So like I said, can you name the channel so we can subscribe as well?
ISUPK Louisiana.
Okay, the water.
Yeah, but when
What's the name of the podcast, sir?
It'll be on Salaki. Go ahead.
What's the name of the podcast, sir?
Is we got to change the name because somebody else already got the name, so we gonna call it It's probably gonna be UPK off the record.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, we did the first one Saturday night, but we did it kind of late. So we gonna do it from 8 to 10. So if y'all able to get in, y'all just hit me up. You know, I can send y'all the StreamYard and everything. Y'all can come in there. Our people really need to see us unified instead of the bullshit and propaganda that's going on in Earth.
Damn right, sir. Most High in Christ. But anything else brothers want to say before we close it?
Yeah, if I could, carnal.
Go ahead, carnal.
All right, and for all the vatos out there, si tú eres un hombre hispano, negro o indio nativo, homeboy, este es tu lugar donde debes de estar. Deja de estar haciendo guerra con estos gabachos, porque no vas a ganar, homie. Te va a llevar la chingada ese, no vas a ganar, homeboy. La única manera que vas a ganar es aquí, y ese es bajo del comando de nuestro general Yahana, es debajo de la Biblia como es. Este es tu hogar, este es tu lugar, y aquí es donde debes de estar, homeboy. Déjense de babosadas allá en la calle, les van a quitar la vida, al chile, homie. Ustedes pertenecen aquí. Aquí es donde está la familia, aquí es donde está la unidad. Órale.
Hey, and Salak, that's what we need in our classes too. On that, that's why I was telling y'all about the podcast. We do our classes Tuesday, Wednesday. You know, y'all want to come into class anytime. Our class is Tuesday, Wednesday from 7 to 9. So if y'all want to come in there, we need that Latino speaking. So you know we can graft these brothers into out here. There's a lot of y'all brothers out here too. We can't speak it. Y'all know the language. So when y'all want to come into class, you know what I'm saying? Just hit me up. Y'all can come to our classes. There ain't no issue at all. We got the live stream. I'll send y'all the live stream, but
the what?
How you on the phone?
Sister said the Most High been sending tornadoes to Texas. Good night, man.
Yeah.
Lord, the Lord will avenge his people, man. And that's one thing that you gringos are going to learn, man, sooner or later, man. You think right now that we're a joke. You think that we're, weak. You think that, you can do whatever you want to us and you will never have to answer for it. But lo and behold, Christ's going to return one day and he's going to show you devils exactly what y'all been doing to people. You're going to be brought to justice, man. And all the evil that y'all doing to my raza right now, with these raids and mistreating them, you're going to have to answer for it, white man. Just remember that. You laugh and be in your pride. The Bible says the pride of thy heart had deceived thee. So right now, you think you're untouchable. You're going to be in for a rude awakening, Esau. But with that, man, I pray that my raza wakes up, man. We're going to keep doing these classes, doing these shows as long as we can, man. We pray for the internet and the airways to be opened up, man. But we're going to be back at it again next week, man. Stay tuned, man. The Inconvenient Truth, we're going to keep holding it down, man, till Christ returns. Anything you want to say, Kamada?
Nah, carnal.
Órale. With that, man, we'll be back at it again next week, man. Yahweh, en el nombre de Yahweh Shai, les bendigan. Yahweh les cuide, que Yahweh cuide sobre ustedes. En el nombre de Yahweh Shai, a las mujeres. We'll be back at it, man. Shalom, Israel. I'm just gonna close out with that one video of this brother. Like, yeah, before we go, let me get that one video. Definitely need to play that one video. There it is. Hold on.
Este carnal tiene todo.
Shalom, Israel.
Toda la razón, solo vean este video. Este carnal tiene toda la razón, solo vean este video.
And that's black and Hispanics. The white man divided us against each other. Right. So now we fighting for the crumbs. They said, oh, we can't have the Hispanics come over here because they're taking all the black jobs. Where in the hell is a black job? Right. That doesn't even make sense. Black and Hispanics, we should not be fighting for crumbs. Right. We should be fighting for the promises of God. That's right. God wants us to rule over everybody. You know why? America is strong because of Hispanics. America was built off the free labor of black and Hispanics. Right. Black and Hispanics love America, when America has never loved them. Right. And that's why you deserve to be on top, because you would never treat them like they treated you. That's right. The Lord said this. The Lord said, remember how you lived in Egypt, but we want to abuse our own brethren. Why? That's why it makes this captivity like this. Because when we get our own place, when we get our own land, we're going to know the hardships of America. We're going to know how white people treated Hispanics. We're going to know how white people treated black people. And we ain't never going to treat them like that again. Black and Hispanics, we're going to join together. All love, but conquer them.
¿Y ustedes qué opinan al respecto? ¿Están de acuerdo con lo que dice este carnal? Es tiempo de estar unidos, nadie es mejor que nadie. Hispanos y unidos. Yo estoy de acuerdo con este carnal. ¿Y ustedes qué opinan al respecto? Déjenos saber en los comentarios y bendiciones.